Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is now 6:01, so we will call to order our, August 18th meeting. Hey, Jimmy. Our August 18th meeting of the Orlando, golly, I should have some coffee first. No, I'm not, apparently. I need that coffee. Okay, for our Orange County Mid-Decennial Redistricting Advisory Committee, my apologies. Having said all that, Mr. Clerk, will you take the roll for us?
Member Orchelski.
Present.
Member Jackson.
Here.
Member Kilsheimer.
Here.
Member De La Portilla.
Here.
Member Arias.
Here.
Member Cowan.
Member Callan is gaining.
Member Washington.
Gaining weight.
Member Baga.
Here.
Member Jones.
Here.
Co-Chair Perez.
Here, and Mark, you said that like it's a bad thing.
Only for him.
Co-Chair Evans.
Present.
Member Spears.
Here.
Member Alfont.
Presente.
Member Pizzini.
Present.
And Member Henry.
Present.
You have a quorum.
Thank you very much. All right. Our next item on the agenda is public comment. For the sake of public comment, we will ask that when your name is called, you come to the podium. You'll have 3 minutes and state your name and then your address. And then also, before we begin public comment, I want to acknowledge, for those who are here, I would like to acknowledge the electronic public comments we received. One from Del Marie Alicia on behalf of their Latino Justice, PRLDEF. Also, we have public comment, electronic comment, from Newt Kindland, as well as from Laurie Hollingsworth on behalf of Mayor Lowndes from the Maitland City Council, and then also from David Shepard, and also from Guy Sanchez. Wow, I should definitely get that coffee for tonight. All right, our first public comment. Oh, we have commissioners in the room. We had. I'm sure we will again. There's Commissioner Uribe. Would you like to speak? Okay. After public comment? Okay. I'm sorry, didn't see you. Would you like to, please? Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you again for your service on the rain, on the shine nights. So as the maps proceed to go through the whittling down process, I'm making a request that when you hear 4 district commissioners make a request not to advance a particular map, to please be efficient and then to not advance it because it doesn't have the votes at the Board of County Commissioners. So please advance the maps that you hear support from the commissioners. I'll speak on behalf of District 5. We're looking at the Henry 2 map, we're looking at the F1 map, and we're looking at the Baga map. And I understand that for some communities, those don't all work for everybody. There's no perfect map, and we get that. Those are the 3 that we've heard from our constituents. But when we have like a Washington 2 map that has received 4 votes, or 4 county commissioners coming to this dais and saying it doesn't work for them, please don't advance a map that doesn't have the votes at the Board of County Commissioners. It's not a efficient means of practice, and of course, Florida, on our efficiency efforts, we would like to make sure that the maps we have support that have already been advocated for at this dais. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioner Semrod. Commissioner Uribe, would you like to go now? Nope. All right. Well, we will jump into public comment. Again, if you would like to participate in public comment and haven't completed a public comment card and provide it to our staff, please do so at this time so we can get through this list quickly. Our first 3 speakers are Hattie Bryant, Mr. Randy Knight from the City of Winter Park, and also David Shepard. We have you in that order, and if you'll please line up there on the left so we can get the queue moving.
I noticed, let me just check the sound. I could hardly hear the commissioner. Okay. Hi, my name is Hattie Bryant. I live at 1240 South Pennsylvania, Winter Park. And last time I spoke, I explained why Washington 2 makes sense. And I am a constituent of Commissioner Simrod, and I disagree with her. And she hasn't heard from me, except if she'd come to these meetings. This is my third time to speak in behalf of Washington 2. My district currently now stretches from Brevard County to Maitland in a long, wacky, crazy line that has never made sense. It lumps Winter Park, an historic, urban, civic-minded city, in with rural places like Blithlow, Wedgefield, and Christmas. Those communities deserve their own commissioner who understands their rural needs. Winter Park deserves representation that understands ours. That's why my own Winter Park mayor and commissioners endorse Washington 2. Now, I need to address something troubling. Mr. Wes Hodge, a county staffer and former chair for a political party here in Orange County, admitted in public that he spies over people's shoulders at meetings like these to read our private messages. And then he claims that residents like me are not speaking for ourselves, but for some manufactured cause. I'd like him to be here right now and try sneaking a peek at my phone. That is not only creepy, it's outrageous for a county employee, and county employees should not be given a platform in front of you, in my view. The truth is simple. We are not props like he made us look like. We are neighbors and community members getting engaged. We came here on our own to support a map that reflects real communities where we live. Washington 2 is fair, balanced, and the only map with genuine resident support and official municipal endorsements. I thank you for continuing to consider Washington 2, and I hope you choose Washington 2. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Mr. Randy Knight from the city of Winter Park. Up. Would you? Okay.
Thank you. My name is Randy Knight, City Manager, City of Winter Park, 401 South Park Avenue. Winter Park does continue to advocate for a compact district of like communities to Winter Park. Of the 7 maps that you've amended that are for your consideration tonight, 5 of the 7 either stretch all the way to the Brevard County line or to the Lake County line. Only 2 are of that compact nature, and that is the Alphont 1A and the Washington 2A1, if I got the numbering system right, that put Winter Park with like communities. We like the original Washington 2 better, but we could live with this one. The original one had us with Maitland, and this one separates Maitland from Winter Park. But we still also advocate for the Callan 2 map, which we think is a solid map for Winter Park. So we thank you for your time. I know you got a tough job, and every time you move a line, another line moves. So we just ask you keep Winter Park in mind and what its commission would like to see. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Knight. Commissioner Wilson?
Thank you so much again. We're getting down to it. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel. We're not sure which tunnel at this point, but thank you for staying in the course. Co-chairs, you've done an incredible job in committee. I know that this is not the easiest thing to get into at this point because we're really down to those fine details. I believe you have more than one good map to advance. And I want to encourage you, as I think you've discussed, in advancing at least 2 so that the Board of County Commission has a robust discussion. I did not put my finger on the scale, and I wanted to make sure that we were hearing from everybody and understanding sort of the best interests of the community and really weighing sort of the things that maybe I didn't even know in my 4 years of serving. One of the things I will tell you is that when the maps come to us, I will not support a map that removes District 1's only community center. And so I believe there are still several maps that do that. Map 2, 4, and 5 remove District 1's only community center, only neighborhood center for families, and only rec center. So as far as supporting what I believe are those core principles of redistricting, which includes things like continuity, I think that's important. I'm not sure how the consultants evaluated what the core of districts are, but looking at the map that, so I'm sorry. My concern, and I'm going to just point to it because I think it's something that unless you zoom in or you're from the area, it's hard to see. And I hope it's something that has hopefully made some notice here. There's definitely a contiguous issue when you look at this. This line at the south follows the annexation line of the city of Winter Garden. We work through those annexations through JPAs and of course have worked on closing up several of the enclaves that were out there. But that is, if you zoom in even to, let's see, this area, I mean, that looks like an enclave. And so I'm not sure how that got past the consultant. I'm not sure if, but if you think about the core of District 1 and what it was and what it is, this is the growth that's happened in Winter Garden down towards Horizon West. I think the point that has been made about the growth is good. It's a good point. And I think adding 2 commissioners was part of what was supposed to address that. But I think the part that I think is very important for the people who live south, let's see if I can get this the right way. That's Disney. Okay, so if you cut this part, what you've done is you've created an isolated Horizon West. So people who say, oh, well, it makes more sense for Horizon West to be with Hunters Creek and Williamsburg, to some extent, don't understand that really there's no connection there, that this is Disney. And so that creates another isolated community. There was a revision that caught my eye that I also wanted to raise a concern about, and I think it might have been Henry 1, that actually severed Oakland from the rest of the Colonial Drive, West Colonial Municipal lineup out there. I think there are map revisions that cut right through Tildenville. And so I'm just asking that if we're looking at those maps, zoom in, take a look closely, think about the need to be contiguous, to have clean lines. We're trying to close up those enclaves for annexation purposes. Let's not reopen them as part of this effort. And I appreciate your time, and I encourage you to keep up the good work.
Thank you, Commissioner. Are you?
A question for the commissioner. Where is the recreation center she was talking about? So we know how and if we can.
East Winter Garden. I'll show you.
Okay. That'd be thankful. I didn't realize that was an issue.
Yeah, no, listen, I mean, yeah, it's where you had your district, the District 1 meeting. We wouldn't be able to do that.
Charter or redistricting?
This.
I may have missed that one.
And I think it's where we had the CRC meeting.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioner Wilson. Mr. Shepherd, thank you for your patience. Come on up. If you'll state your name and your address, you'll have 3 minutes.
David Shepard. I'm a resident of District 1. Florida statute precludes me from giving my address. It's written on my paper. Okay. Looking at it, I'll be even a little bit more specific. I'm a resident of Wedgefield. District 5 is a very, very, very long district. From 2019 to 2021, I drove all the way from 520 to 50 to I-4 and still worked 45 minutes later in District 5 at Fairbanks and Edgewater. So I know that was one of the districts. Map 2 and map 4 are the only ones that make District 5 kind of its own district per the website. So it's my recommendation, just as a resident of Wedgefield, that we finally get, Maitland and Winter Park have very different needs than Wedgefield and East Orange County. So those are the 2 maps that I personally like as a resident. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shepherd. Our next speakers are Mr. Timothy Ayers, followed by Esther Moore, and then followed by Jason Levine. If you would please line up in that order. Mr. Ayers, you're up first.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairwoman. My name is Timothy Ayers. I live at 1291 Plumgrass Circle in Ocoee, Florida. My 2 representatives on this panel are Angel and the mayor. I'm not sure those words should go together, but nevertheless, they have ably represented the residents of District 2. I'm here tonight in support of map 5A, Henry 1, Amendment 1, which is the last map on the agenda. This map was put together taking into consideration the comments of this committee when they advanced it in the first round. In every instance, in every district, we were able to satisfy the recommendations from each member who spoke in terms of what their concern was, with the exception of one district. And in that particular instance, we only got 90% there, because obviously when you make one move, it affects other districts as well. And so I would ask you, on behalf of those of us who spoke before in favor of this particular map, that you consider it again and advance the best 2 maps regardless of political consideration, and allow the county commission to consider the political nature of those maps once you advance them from this body. And I appreciate your support, and I yield back my time.
Thank you, Mr. Ayers. Our next speaker is Ms. Esther Moore, followed by Jason Levine, and then Ms. Sandra Theringer.
My name is Esther Moore. I pronounce it a little different because I'm Brazilian. I live in 838 Riverboat Circle, Orlando, District 4. I am here to speak on behalf of the Washington 2 map, which is map number 2, I believe. I don't have much to say, but I just wanted to come here and speak on behalf of that Washington 2 map.
Thank you so very much. Mr. Levine?
Thank you, and thank you all for hearing us tonight and doing the work that you do. My name is Jason Levine. I'm a District 1 resident and a District 1 business owner. I live at 6326 Green Grove Court in Orlando and operate a business at 7208 West Sand Lake Road. I'm here tonight to support the Washington 2 map, as well on behalf of the West Orange Chamber of Commerce. We've got a couple of quick points that we'd like you to take under consideration. The first of which is the preservation of historic municipal partnerships. This map keeps cities like Winter Garden and Ocoee together. Both have gone on record stating that they wish that to be the case. I believe there was an amendment last night or this morning as well that also makes this the only map that completely keeps Pine Hills united. And that is an issue that we have heard repeatedly, both from the public and from the West Orange Chamber's members that operate in that area, that it's critical to them that Pine Hills not be split. As well, this map respects rural settlement integrity. It keeps Avalon and Gotha, which are of aligned interest, together. And it also maintains geographic and environmental cohesion in the south. It could be said that keeping Windermere, as well as the other communities that surround the Butler chain of lakes together, is a wise move. It's something that we support, something that we think makes sense given the very micro level local interests in those areas. Finally, it does anticipate future growth. Obviously Orange County is constantly changing, constantly growing, and we know that there will be more change to come. And to create a situation where we know there will be significant infill may be a wise choice. So again, on behalf of myself, as both a District 1 resident and business owner, and more importantly tonight, on behalf of the West Orange Chamber of Commerce, we ask you to support the Washington 2 map, and thank you very much for your hard work.
Thank you, Mr. Levine. Our next speaker is Sandra Thuringer, and followed by Mateo Schulte, and then Sandy Miller.
Good evening. Thank you so much for doing this very important work. My name is Sandra Thuringer, and I live in West Orange at 6315 Point Hancock Drive. And I work in education at the Orange County Public School District, so I'm very used to speaking on the mic a lot. I spoke here a couple of months ago about why I supported separating Horizon West from the northern historic communities and why it makes sense for West Orange. The Washington 2 map is the only map doing this, even after dozens of residents' voices, such as myself, calling for it. I am a resident, I am a professional in the community and in our school system, and I'm here because I care. So are the many others who have spoken and followed this process. And I just want to say that I support the Washington 2 map because it does outline our Horizon West. And as we know, it is growing, and it continues to grow, and it continues to grow. I think we're going to be taking over some parts of the other, what is that county lower than us? Osceola. I think we're going to be starting to take some of Osceola pretty soon. So we need to make sure that we're taking care of the residents in that area. So I do appreciate your consideration with that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Schulte, followed by Sandy Miller.
Good evening. My name is Mateo Schulte, 4450 Gloucester Drive, Orlando, Florida. I'm here this evening, and I've been here a few times, but after looking through all these maps and everything, like I tell you, it's just chaotic. My favorite map is Washington 2, but as I've heard that some of the commissioners are not going to vote for in favor of Washington 2, so it's no need for me to be pleading on a Washington 2 map that is never going to pass already as of the beginning. So the best other map that I was looking for Clark-Onocoee as a Lockhart area will be Henry 2. That will be the next choice. Also, BAGA map, clear, completely destroy the hard work that we've been doing since 2022 on Clark-Onocoee. I know some members of this commissioner did not know where Lockhart was or Clark-Onocoee. So we are only about 5 miles from this center as we go. And we have worked so hard since 2022 to improve Clark-Onocoee. And some of these maps, what they do is split Clark-Onocoee into 2 districts, District 2 or District 7. And it's going to be chaotic for us that as a homeowners, that we volunteer our own time every Saturday, once a month or sometime twice a month, to go pick up trash and clean a 3.5-mile corridor of communities. Every single community in our area, we are empowered by our District 2 Commissioner, Christy Moore. We would love to stay on District 2. That will be our dream because we have been working hard with this commissioner for the past 3 years. And we have seen the improvement in Clark-Onocoee. Even people from Pine Hills have noticed, and they say, hey, how come Clark-Onocoee looks much cleaner than the rest of the county? It's because we are part of the solution, not the problem. And a lot of these maps, a lot of people saying a lot of stuff, they don't participate in community cleanups. They don't participate in community gathering. We participate in community gathering. We participate in community cleanup. We care for our area. So, and the decision that you're about to make is going to affect us one way or another. We're just trying to make sure it doesn't affect us that hard, because Christy Moore had created 5 different organizations coming from South Apaka all the way to Lockhart. Right now, those are being destroyed by all these maps going on. Washington 2 actually keep us, all of that, together as one cohesive community. Again, thank you. I know you guys have a long things to do and check and make everybody happy where it's not going to be impossible. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Schulte. We have Ms. Sandy Miller next, followed by David Terry.
Good evening. My name is Sandy Miller. Address is 4430 Cluster Drive. I am a little displeased of what I just heard recently. I'm going to sound like a broken record behind Mr. Schulte. So originally, I was with Washington number 2 and Collin number 2, but my understanding now that has been changed around a bit. And so to the disadvantage, my concern really is for our area, Clare-Conocoe. I represent people of Clare-Conocoe, as you probably already know. We come in with the yellow shirts, standing tall and proud. We are very proud of what our commissioner, our present commissioner, Christine Moore of District 2, has done for our area. As Mr. Schulte said, we did a lot of work on Clare-Conocoe Road. And so what she has done is she has created nonprofit HOAs in our different communities, and we've worked hard and diligently on Clare-Conocoe area. So my understanding now is that these maps have actually chopped up that area. We were very proud with, I was saying, Washington number 2, but we can't go with it. So I'm going to say no to Bags 2, and I'm going to say yes to Henry, because that's the only thing that seems like it's going to be doable for what we have right now. So I would plead to you, please, try and keep Clare-Conocoe corridor together. She has created these nonprofit organizations where people that didn't even know each other came together. We do cleaning, as broken record again, as Mr. Schulte had talked about, and we have accomplished. We're very proud. We want to keep our communities clean. We want to try and bring in businesses together, but when you chop us all up, we can't work together anymore, and we can't succeed and go forward trying to bring positivism for our community. So I would say, as a resident of that area, that you please take to heart what we're coming across with you and make the right decision that helps keep our area together. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Miller. Our next speaker is Mr. David Terry, followed by Patrick Ferguson.
Good evening. I'm David Terry. I live at 8103 Laughing Gull, Winter Garden, which is in Horizon West, District 1. I want to start off by thanking Commissioner Wilson for all of her hard work. She does a great job for us, but I have to say I disagree with you. One thing I'll say, and I came in with a whole bunch of things in mind, and I changed it all. I want to speak just from the heart, I think. I don't know anybody in Horizon West that actually goes to the community center in East Winter Garden. So to suggest that that is some kind of a tie to our community, I don't know anybody in Horizon West that goes there. So it's not something that is a draw for us. We are getting a brand new library, which has a community room that they're building. We fought very hard to build our new library. It'll be open, I think, in the next 8 months, where we're getting the Horizon West Regional Park. It's a great development. So there are things that are coming to Horizon West that provide that. And so I think that the Horizon West community needs to be looked at as a place that needs to be respected and grown and focused on. And I don't believe that a commissioner that has to split their time between the incorporated communities and the unincorporated communities is a major benefit to us. And I'm going to use a specific example. And Commissioner Wilson, you and I had a lot of conversations during the infrastructure tax time period, and I went to a lot of public meetings about that. If you look at the infrastructure sales tax that failed a few years ago, would have provided a ton of money for the communities, the incorporated communities within Orange County. Winter Garden, Ocoee, Oakland, Windermere, all were going to get plenty of money, but there was almost no development, basically $0 of new dollars that were going to go to Horizon West. And I can appreciate how difficult a position that would have been for a commissioner, where you have half of your district that is getting all of this money and half of your district that is not getting anything from that money. How do you decide? So we need to respect the unincorporated portions. And I know Commissioner Wilson mentioned, yeah, I have an issue with 95% of the district being unincorporated. But the issues in an unincorporated Orange County, and I've been in Orange County for 29 years, 27 of those years have been in an unincorporated portion of the county, and 17 of those years are in Horizon West. And I know that there is major differences between unincorporated and incorporated Orange County. So I hope that the commissioners, hope that your panel, your commission, and then the commissioners after that will consider the fact that Washington 2 puts Horizon West and the county and the incorporated communities in a position where they have a representative that speaks for them. And again, Commissioner Wilson has done a fantastic job of speaking for all of us, but it becomes harder and harder by the day, and I think it makes it very difficult for all of us to do that if you keep us together. So hopefully you will consider that Washington 2 map, and hopefully the commissioners will reconsider their position. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Patrick Ferguson, followed by James Hunter. If you'll give us your name and address, you have 3 minutes.
Patrick Ferguson, 10506 Tribute Drive, Winter Garden, Florida. So, good evening. I wanted to thank this committee's dedication, effort, and time to work through these challenging tasks ahead. I know there will be difficulties impacting each map, but I did want to share my concern regarding maps that were previously accepted for review as 2 and 5. I'm a resident in Horizon West, but my mailing address is Winter Garden. We are connected to Winter Garden. We share a sense of community with the areas. Map 2 and 5 would try to sever that relationship, negatively impacting the area. It would also remove Orange County Recreation Center from the district, which is a vital resource. Instead, I urge the committee to adopt maps 3 and 5 in recommendation, which preserve these neighborhoods and sense of community, sharing the Winter Garden address. I ask these committee to keep the communities together. I appreciate your time and consideration, and I also want to thank Commissioner Wilson for all of her work in District 1.
Thank you. Next, we have Mr. James Hunter, followed by Derek Fields. Again, if you would like to participate in the public comment portion of this meeting and have not provided a public comment card, please do so at your earliest convenience. Mr. Hunter.
Hello, James Hunter, 4521 RC Street, Orlando, Florida, 32812. 2 community members sponsored, and that's 1 map each, my citizen maps. Neither got approved. So now I'm here to say that I support and have supported in the redistricting meetings map 2, and also supporting the map 2A. Excuse me. Amendment, the map 2A, Amendment 1, so I'm supporting that too. And one of the public comment persons have kind of stole my thunder on what I was going to say further, but I'm going to say it. I'm interested in seeing a district/commissioner with less than 10% incorporated in their district, where the unincorporated communities will get more of a voice, so than they currently have. So map 2 and map 2A meets that in districts 1 and 5. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hunter. We now have Mr. Derek Fields, followed by Kevin Kelly.
Hello, and thank you for your time. My name is Derek Fields. I live at 5431 Bowman Drive in Winter Garden, in the Horizon West area of Winter Garden. And I'm here also to support Washington 2. We've heard already tonight from a diverse group of people from many different communities supporting it. And I think it's concerning, at least to me, that we're hearing from politicians who aren't willing to support what so many residents have taken time and effort out of their lives to come here and talk about. It seems to me that Washington 2 is the map with the most community support, and I question what the woman mentioned earlier, the public servant who was up here saying he was looking at people's phones and thinking that we're fake supporters or something like that. I live in Horizon West. I wasn't asked to be here by anybody. My son is 7 months old and asleep in the car outside right now with my wife. And I hope he owns my house someday when I'm dead and gone. There's going to be a lot of growth between now and then. And I think that we need someone who is supporting the unincorporated areas and able to manage that growth effectively. And I would humbly ask that the committee put forth the maps that they think are best and have the most community support, And then it's the commissioner's job to decide on that. And I would also ask that they listen to the voice of the people that they represent, since that's really their job. They represent us. They're not just going to decide whatever they want if there's a strong majority opinion for one thing. Thank you for your time, and I yield the rest of my time.
Thank you so very much. Our next speaker is Mr. Kevin Kelly, followed by Ms. Trini Quiros.
Hi, Kevin Kelly, 4315 Indian Deer Road, Windermere, Horizon West. I'd like to point out that the use of the public libraries and the community centers are open to all, and it doesn't matter where you live. So not having one in your neighborhood is not a detriment to going and using them. Okay, so I want to clarify that not having a community center in the future District 1 is not the end of the world. We don't have a lot of things there, like functioning roads. I worried tonight thinking about the rain. We have a brand new fire station, and when it rains hard, the road floods, and that engine cannot make it into certain areas. We don't have a library. We're about to get one, as one of the earlier speakers talked about. So the infrastructure is being built out, and there's more coming. A lot of folks are not aware that State Road 516 will be ready soon. And that's going to connect US 27 in Lake County to the 429, the Daniel Webster Highway. That's going to bring in an awful lot of action. And what I'm concerned about as a Horizon West resident is that I'm represented in a way that looks at those types of infrastructure issues and advocates for the folks in that area, and is not trying to please the areas further north that are traditionally, they're already established, they're municipalities. So looking at those, again, we don't have a lot in Horizon West. We will. We don't have an American Legion Hall right now. We need one. We'll take care of that. All right? So there's all sorts of opportunity for these things to happen. Don't look at those as roadblocks. Those are opportunities. Looking to the future, well, we're going to have to do this again in a few years. And there's several members, like Mr. Affant, I love the fact that he's always asking about the future and thinking about it, because we're going to have to do it again in 5 years. Hopefully you'll be here. And yeah, I feel like there's maps that stop that kind of progress and don't think of it that way, and then there's maps that have a long-term viewpoint. So when I think about the story of our communities and where they need to go and where they're going to be in a few years, hey, the encroachment of Orlando on Pine Hills is a real thing. And the folks of Pine Hills that I know and that I talk to want one district. They want one commissioner there. So those types of issues are real, and they're coming. So it's not just about today, and it's not just about what's going to work for the existing commission the way it is now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Ms. Trini Quiros, followed by Mr. Jim Callahan.
Good evening. It's good to see so many community members coming out to these sessions, especially with the weather. I commend you and congratulate you. The people must be heard. The people must come to the meetings, whether it's BCC meetings, municipal meetings, or this type of meetings. I like to remind whomever is listening here and also in wherever it is that they put these things on the website of the county. This idea of amplifying the districts from 6 to 8 is not novel. It's not just now. This has been going on for the last 12 years. And let's remember and not confuse and forget that the reason to open the districts from 6 to 8 is because of the overpopulation that some of these districts have, over 240,000 people. What commissioner can deal with 240,000 people? They cannot even deal with 50,000, and I know what I'm saying, let alone with 260,000 plus. So let's remember what is it that redistricting is. Now, some people are saying, let's keep the cities or the well-to-do places away from the rurals. What are you trying to imply? District 5, of which I am a proud resident of, and I support my commissioner 100%, is a good district. And the people of District 5 are the people that I remember for the last 20 years coming to meetings as a group of people representing that area that is mainly forgotten. I am so glad that I never bought a home in Westfield because nobody told me that the water there wasn't the same water that the city and the main area receives. Wow, that is something terrible. Let's worry about how the community lives. Pretty soon, we are not going to have much to worry about because the way things are, this is going to become a nasty fascist place where people with power and people who hate other people will put their will over those who do not show up for meetings, those who do not have a voice. I personally feel that we should come back to the reason why redistricting is amplifying from 6 to 8 districts, to give a voice to all of the people of the over 1,500,000 plus people who have made this county their county. And basically, I congratulate every member. I know some of the maps are good, but vote for what is best for the people, not whoever presents the map. Thank you.
Ms. Quiros, you didn't give us your name and address. We all know because you've been here plenty, and we love that you are, but you got to give it to us.
I apologize. Trini Quiros, 2000 Hillcrest, Orlando.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jim Callahan. I don't know why I'm making you Calhoun tonight. I'm sorry.
No problem. Jim Callahan, 204 East South Street, Orlando, Florida. Came here in support of the 2 maps or actually 3 maps when you count the amendment of Jason Henry. And Henry 2 I've been supporting all along. When I realized, it provides a Pine Hills district in what started as a Font 1. And I just recently was looking at Henry 1, and that actually includes the spur up to south of Popka. And it also has the lowest population deviation. I know Mr. Afan is always concerned about the population deviation, and Henry 1 has a particularly low population deviation. So if you want the current truce in West Orange County, vote for Henry 2. If you want to include south of Popkin, Pine Hills, vote for Henry 1. Thank you. I yield the balance of my time.
Thank you, Mr. Callahan. I next have a speaker with the last name Silva. Thank you, Mr. Silva. When you come up, if you give us your name and your address, you'll have 3 minutes. After Mr. Silva, I have Giancarlo Rodriguez.
Good evening. My name is Gleison Silva. I'm a resident of 5349 Richley Runway. I don't know if I understood correctly, but I believe the Washington 2 map is off the table, if I heard right, but I'm not sure. I'm still in support of this map. I believe it's the best and most ideal map for our area of our county, and because it keeps the 429 corridor together. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Rodriguez, if you'll give us your name and address, you have 3 minutes.
Hey, good evening, everybody. My name is Giancarlo Rodriguez. I live at 1647 East Colonial Drive. I'm here representing Sunrise Movement Orlando with the youth climate organization here in Orlando. And I'm here to speak in support of map 7, which is Henry 2A. I believe that this map accomplishes the goal of redistricting with it to make it easier for communities to not only be well represented, right? Orange County is changing to represent Orange County well, but also for communities to advocate for themselves. I feel like the map does a very fair job at keeping urban and suburban communities compact and communities of similar nature together. And I feel like that makes it easier for communities that are more working class to advocate for themselves for issues like affordable housing, public transportation, issues that we really care about here in Orlando. I think it is the way that it is made, especially right on the west side, it keeps communities that have been together advocating for common goals together, which I think is very important. I think that map 7 is ideal. And I think even talking about District 5, which goes from the rural east side to like the UCF area and the downtown, I think that it makes sense for these communities to be together because they are heavily intertwined, right? These rural communities want to be protected and don't want development to be built in them. And the way to have that is to have a district where we can focus on building in our urban communities, in our UCF community, rather than so that sprawl doesn't lead to go to the east side. I really think that map 7 accomplishes a lot of things that we're wanting to be accomplished. I do think that map 2 Washington slices and dices a lot of communities. I think it actually does a bad job at advocating for a lot of the communities that spoke here today, because I feel like it puts all the incorporated areas together, and I feel like that will make it hard for whichever commissioner is to really advocate for that community if they have to deal with all these other municipalities all in one. So I feel like that map doesn't do a very good job at doing that, and I think that it doesn't really represent Orange County in the way that it could and in the way that I think map 7 does. So I hope that you'll move map 7 next in the process, and I hope that you will keep map 2 have its end be today. Thank you so much, and appreciate all the work you're doing. Take care.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. Our next speaker is Mr. David Caicedo, followed by Sam Delgado.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hello.
David Caicedo, he, him pronouns, 4032 Lake Underhill Road, and I am with Las Semillas, the Seeds of Pine Hills. So I'm here today to urge that you all listen to Black and brown communities and poor working class and poor white communities that will be most impacted by redistricting, who have come here to speak not on behalf of any persons or special interests, but for the desire of the majority, as we've heard today also. And we've seen over the last few weeks, people want fairness in the process, people want to see their neighborhoods stay together, and for their districts to have the space and economic means to grow. This is why I'm again advocating for map 7, AKA Henry Deuce, that keeps all CDPs together and has almost 10% margin for the voting age population Black plurality in District 6 and 7. It's Amendment Henry 2A that keeps all but one CDP together in Alphont 2A, which we see as improvements upon the original that we also used as a base, right? We used Alphont as our base. In opposite vein, I want to strongly advocate against Washington 2 and Callan 2, both of which split historic communities like Pine Hills, Oak Ridge, and Alafaya that share cultural and economic ties. With the former Washington 2 having five white plurality districts, which does not reflect the actual racial or ethnic demographic of Orange County. And in one of the districts that even has over 40% percentage points over the next ethnic group. Like, that's just not right, right? This actually looks like gerrymandering on its face and gets worse when you look at the numbers. I thought it couldn't get worse, and then I saw the amended version. It really looks like a developer created it, and they're looking at profit projections rather than the actual human beings that are going to be impacted by these maps. So to close, I want you all to remember those that are affected by the redistricting and not the numbers and the data solely. Please consider human beings that will be impacted by these decisions and the loud voices, and not the loud voices of the few attempting to drown out the many. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Mr. Sam Delgado, followed by Mr. Seven Charleston.
Good evening. My name is Sam Delgado. I work with Central Florida Jobs with Justice. I'm at 1510 East Colonial Drive. As you know, we've been having some dialogue between us and you all on the board for the last couple of weeks, namely in support of the map that we developed with Jason Henry, doing that with the priority of a few things that we had laid out as our goals, which is to maximize the representation of the many diverse communities throughout Orange County, and also to keep our municipalities and communities of interest together. And so those were the goals that we had laid out in the creation of this map, and we found it was really helpful to work off of the first one that Mr. Alfont had put before you all in the beginning of the process, right? And so through this process and hearing the feedback from community members and you all's analysis of how to kind of split up Orange County into 8 districts, which is, of course, no easy task, we really were asking ourselves a question of, well, who should our Board of County Commissioners see themselves as answering to, right? And that is what the ultimate question you're answering when you decide. And so those were our goals, right? Minority representation, namely creating 2 Black plurality districts, 3 Hispanic plurality districts with substantial notable pluralities, right? Not just like 41 to 42% differences. And we see, just looking at the numbers, the maps that accomplish that are Alfont 2A, the first edit to it, as well as Henry 2, our original, and also we didn't mind the amendment that you had done, Mr. Baga. So we like that one. And I just really want to advocate very strongly against Washington 2 for the many reasons that my colleague before me had listed. In particular, just the concentration of the wealthiest communities in Orange County all being placed into one district, while simultaneously having 5 white majority. And there's, I think it was 3 that were listed that had white majority, over 50% white voting age population. And, you know, I worked for a couple of years on the voting rights campaign with the ACLU of Florida. We studied gerrymandering, and some alarm bells were ringing when I was looking at that map. So thank you all for all the time that you all have put in here. And go Henry too. All right.
Thank you. Mr. Charleston, followed by Mr. Quinn Swearinger. Mr. or Mrs. Quinn.
Hey y'all, Seven Charleston from District 6. My colleagues kind of said most of it for me. Our goals in general were to keep Pine Hills together, to make it an equitable map for all the communities involved. Because while we are thinking about Pine Hills, this is an Orange County redistricting process, and you know the job for you guys is Orange County and not one area or another area. So Alfont laid the carpet for us for what a fair map could look like, and we wanted to make sure that our community is represented the way that we think that our that we know that a lot of our residents want to be represented. So yeah, that's what we did with our map, Henry 2, which is map 7. Yeah, so today we're just here to advocate for maps that that are equitable and give us a chance to continue to build the community that we are currently building. And those maps are Henry 2, Alphont 1, and I think honorable mention are, Henry 1, and I think Henry 2A. The maps that we definitely feel like are against our interests are Washington 2, Callan 2, I think maybe Baga 2 as well. But yeah, thank you guys for the time, and y'all can have a minute.
Thank you very much. Mr. Swearinger.
Hello, my name is Quinn Warner Swearingen. I live at 2536 Woodgate Boulevard. Longtime viewer, first time caller. I'm going to keep it shorter, as my colleagues before me have put it perfectly. I'm here to speak in favor of maps Henry 2A and Affluent 2 Amendment 1. These maps keep major communities and municipalities of interest together, particularly Pine Hills, while also maximizing minority representation across the county. Additionally, these maps increase representation for the eastern part of the county rather than shoving most of the region into District 5. The maps Baga 2 and Callan 2 fail to meet more than one of these considerations, and in the case of Washington 2, it fails to meet all of them. In addition to that, Washington 2 just looks like gerrymandering, plain and simple, and I urge you to vote it down. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, I have Mr. Wayne Scantlin, followed by Catherine Roberts Noble.
Hello, my name is Wayne Scantling. I live at 7273 Branch Tree Drive. I'm representing, as the Vice President, the Homeowners Association of the Woodlands of Windermere, and I'm also speaking for Woodlands Village, which is right next door to us. We're in a small border town, I say border community, and those two subdivisions represent the majority, I believe, of the people, or at least a high percentage. We're on the northeast corner of, the southwest corner, I'm sorry, of District 6 and the northeast corner of District 1. And we're also on the border of the city of Orlando and Orange County. When I moved there in 1993, it was a sleepy, quiet community surrounded by Turkey Lake, the lake itself, not the park, and a severely curved road called Hiawassee that was surrounded and satted by orange groves. At that time, we were in District 1, and we had been in District 1 for the past since 1984. Sometime in December of 2022, the lines changed on the map. We had research done by a person named Hannah Gutter in Nicole Wilson's office and found out it was a mistake. But the mistake was never corrected, and we have been disenfranchised since that time, and the maps say we are in District 6. But all of District 6 is Orlando City, and we are Orange County. We have continued to receive and be represented by the District 1 Commissioner, Nicole Wilson, and we have never gotten any type of email from the District 6 Commissioner. At some point, District 1 represents a similar set of communities to ours, and as such, our voice is better represented as the situations we experience are expressed by a much larger voice. There are two maps that we see now that contain District our community within District 1, and it is the Washington 2 and the affluent 6. We ask that we come back into the district that we once were in with just a little triangle that's at the corner, as I said before, and we have a voice in District 1, and we don't have much of a voice in District 6, if we have one at all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I next have Ms. Catherine Roberts Noble, and then followed by Roberta Johnson. And those are the last two public comment cards I have. If there is anyone who wants to participate and hasn't given their card, this is your final chance.
Good evening. My name is Catherine Roberts Nobles, and I live at 3894 North Lake Orlando Parkway, Orlando, Florida, 32808. I've been to many of these meetings and spoke on the behalf of the Rosemont community and the Lake Orlando Homeowners Association. At that time, we told you all how pleased and proud we are to be in District 2 with our current Commissioner, Christine Moore. Therefore, that our first choice would be to stay in District 2 as we work cohesively with some of the other neighbors that have come up and spoke this evening, the Claricona-Ocoee neighborhood, Lockhart, and Apopka. And then we asked if change was imminent for us to be placed in one of the new districts, District 7 or District 8, with Winter Park, College Park, Maitland, where our communities are very well connected together. So, that said, coming to these meetings, I was excited, to see the Washington 2 map and was hoping that that map could be moved forward. I've heard a lot of controversy about it, but we happen to like that particular map for our community. So, if you would consider keeping that map on the table, that would be great for us. However, I would like to say that if it's not a possibility to keep Washington 2 on the table, that we would like to be a part of the Callahan 2. We like how that's structured, and we hope that you would consider keeping the Rosemont Lake Wekiva area along with the communities that we work very well with. And those are the communities that I just mentioned previously. So please, thank you for the work that you guys are doing. I think you're doing a fantastic job, and I know you'll be glad when this is over, and so will we. But please consider our thoughts. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Ms. Roberta Johnson will be our last public speaker for this evening, unless Commissioner Uribe, are you going to go at the end? Okay.
Thank you, and good evening. My name is Roberta Johnson. My address is 952 Royal View Circle, Winter Garden, Florida. And once again, I come before you to speak in favor of Henry Map 1. In my opinion, Henry Map 1 most closely aligns with a few holistic and feasible goals. And that first one being, it establishes fair and equitable districts, which, in my opinion, is first and foremost in terms of what the commission task is for this venue. It also provides consideration for the predominantly at-large districts, which, in my opinion, those need hands-on advocacy. The other ones share representation with the 13 municipalities that we have here in Orange County. But those with large, at-large areas like our rural areas out in East Orlando and like Pine Hills need dual representation for those areas because there's so much in terms of hands-on advocacy and representation that these areas will inherit and continue to inherit. I think the map is reflective of those growth zones that we see throughout Orange County, like Horizons West and Lake Nona. And I also agree with Mayor Kielsheimer that the Apopka area is also experiencing extreme growth. In addition to that, I feel like the amendments, and there have been some amendments, which you are seeing tonight, since I last spoke on July 30th, I feel like those, while there is no perfect assimilation that we can come up with. I feel like those amendments, taken collective, all of the comments that were shared, it ties Tildenville and Winter Garden as a whole back into District 1. It places Lockhart back into 2, but also grabs Maitland, which is a like community. And all of the other areas of interest and communities of interest, it's left them contiguous so that we can stay as closely as we are today in terms of the districts that we see throughout the county. I think, again, the diversity that we experience throughout this community, we must take into consideration real numbers. And so what this does is it provides 2 majority minority African American districts that are real, 44.6% in District 6 and 43.5% in District 7. And so if that is what we are trying to gain and garner, I ask for your support for Henry Map 1, the amended version.
Thank you very much. All right, that is the end. Oh, sorry, Commissioner Uribe.
Good evening, everyone. I normally go first, but I wanted to actually listen to everybody today and take some notes and give a little comment. And it's very interesting. First of all, regardless, Mr. Washington, whatever is being said here, we ultimately all think independently. But with that, and there's been no kind of colluding to say that we are in a majority. I will take a little moment of selfishness on the Washington 2 map and say it does not serve my community and my district well. It actually splits District 3 into 3 different districts, which are not compatible and do not work. So it is, my concern is going to be on what I see in my community, not on anywhere else in Orange County. I know there was a comment made of community centers, of Lockhart, Claricona, Ocoee, and I want to echo the same for Pine Castle and Taft. Commissioner Moore and I have worked very hard, and for the first time ever, Orange County is going to create 2 main streets, one for her district, one for my district, that is going to be funded to help these very, I don't want to call them senior, historical areas to have some consistency, to be able to grow, to be able to give value to those communities, including the homes that are built there. My home, myself, where I'm at, in Pine Castle, was built in 1978. And in Sky Lake, where I grew up in Pine Castle, and you'll go farther as Taft, you've got 1950, 1960. There has been a lot of effort. Commissioner Moore and I have worked very hard to create these main streets that are just coming to fruition, that are just being funded, and they're being hired. They're hiring a position to help these communities grow. So with that being said, I want to show my effort or my support to the Callan 2 map because, like Commissioner Wilson said, and I think she left, we didn't have a community center for 10 years. In the last redistricting with Mr. Arias and Mr. Callan served on, we got our first one, which is the Econo-Lahatchee Renaissance Center, which many of you know it is a place where many Latinos, our seniors, actually get together to play dominoes, to take Zumba, and to collaborate. I also want to go ahead and say that I support Henry Map 1. Again, I see that togetherness, that compatibility that goes on with the district and the people who live there. Again, your map on District 1 includes the community center that we never had prior to this. I used to always say, it was the first time I got a community center in my district when I was elected. So, but I do understand some issues with Henry 2. I have shared my express that I'd love to see some more cohesiveness with Henry 1 to somehow be able to combine with Henry 2 and the Callan map, because I really, really appreciate the 2 main streets that will officially take place in Orange County for the first time. We will, Commissioner War, who we know is leaving to run for bigger and better things, And I will be leaving, but there is a bit of proudness to know that we're going to leave an establishment that'll help grow and prosper both her district and my district in the future. And to split those areas in half, separate them, and make them lose that momentum that's been built. And she and I have worked on this for 3 years. 3 years we've worked on this, pushing to get it funded, attending conferences, and, studies, having county do studies to where they finally said, yes, the Lockhart area, the Pine Castle, Tav, Lockhart, Clare, Conoco area deserve and qualify for these main streets. And we would love to see that happen. But I will say, if the Washington 2 map goes through, it literally cuts my district in 3. So what exists now will be cut into 3 different districts that make no sense, are not compatible, and will split the main street that we work so hard for in half. So thank you very much. Again, I want to applaud you all for all of your hard work, for listening and doing your due diligence. I just felt it was worthy for me to listen this time and really take notes and go back and forth on all the maps. And again, I still want to go back to the Callan 2, the Henry 1, and if possible to amend the Henry 1 with some combination of Henry 2. Thank you all. Appreciate you.
Madam Chair, I've got a quick question for the commissioner, if I may.
Yes.
This gentleman is about to kick me out because I've made him get up to let me slide by many times. Yes, sir.
Your comments related to, thank you for your comments, Commissioner. Your comments related to Washington map, was that the original version or the amended version?
I'm going by Washington too, but even when I looked at the revised version, it moved lines a little bit more, but it still split the district into 3, which made them non-consistent. I mean, I'm sorry, Taft and Pine Castle have nothing to do with Winter Park. There was also the other one, so and again, I go back to also the Main Street that has been put together to help salvage that community. But the original Washington 2 map actually split District 3 into 3 different districts.
If I may, Madam Chair? I'm looking at the amended version here. This is confusing because there's different maps. There's 7 amendments. So we've got actually 14 maps we're looking at. So when members of the public reference maps and say, well, I support this 5A, it's very difficult. We got this at 6:14, right before the meeting. I'll bring that up later, but I do have a follow-up, Madam Chair.
And Mr. De La Portilla?
To Commissioner Uribe,
Okay.
that'd be appropriate.
Mr. De La Portilla, I have the amended map. It does the same thing. It splits us up in 3. It literally splits Conway right in half. 4 districts, so it's actually worse than the original.
Okay.
Yes.
Noted. Thank you, Madam
Yes,
Commissioner.
thank you.
We're going to conclude the I'm sorry.
No, that's great. Thank you for the confirmation.
Thank you, Commissioner Uribe. At this time, we'll move into the review and approval of the minutes. Attorney White.
Yes, good evening. At our last meeting, there was a motion made by Member Baga to modify or correct the August 6th meeting minutes. I actually went back and personally viewed the video after speaking with the clerk, and Mr. Baga was not present for the vote on the meeting, to accept the meeting minutes, so there should be a motion forthcoming to correct that. Thank you.
That is correct, Co-Chair. I very humbly apologize for suggesting that the minutes were incorrect when they were in fact correct. So I move that the minutes revert back to as they were initially published.
I second. So we have a motion and a second for an approval of the August 6th, excuse me. I got it from here. August 6th meeting minutes as originally presented without any amendment. That's the motion, and we have a second by Member Affont. But before we move further, Co-Chair Perez, you have a question?
I was calling the question.
Oh, you were calling the question. Excellent. All right. Hearing no further discussion, all in favor of approving the August 6th minutes as discussed, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, now before you are the August 12th meeting minutes.
I'll move approval, Madam Chair.
We have a motion to approve by Co-Chair Perez, a second by Member Jones. Is there any further discussion?
Rishi? Okay.
Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? August 12th minutes are approved as presented. All right, thank you. It happens. Our next item is administrative matters and review of schedule. Attorney White.
Nothing for me at this time. I'll turn it over to Ms. Williams.
Thank you. Good evening. Just a reminder that your next meeting is Thursday, August 28th here in the chambers, and that's all that we have at this time.
Thank you. Well, considering the fact that we have plenty to get through, we will go ahead and begin with our presentation discussion of amended maps. The first map on our agenda is map 6A, Amendment 6A, which applies to Enfant 2. You'll have 5 minutes, but if you can go faster, we appreciate that too.
Will do.
Thank you.
Thank you. So this is one of the amendments we did. I worked on for the Enfant 2 map, and this was mainly as a way to sort of rectify the weird shape that District 7, I believe, had, where it's like very jagged towards Winter Park. That was mainly to respect Winter Park's vicinity border. However, we wanted to try and fix that, so we put a COE into District 7 with Pine Hills, and we found that it actually increased the black representation in District 7. And so in accordance with that, however, because Ocoee has such a large population, District 2 had to take from other districts, and given that District 1 was not going to be viable since it wouldn't be contiguous with the border, so we had to take away Maitland and Winter Park from District 5. This, in accordance was also made to make District 6 a bit smoother rather than, again, as jagged as it was in the original. So this is the more significant of the changes out of the amendments presented. However, this one increases the black representation significantly for District 7, and it keeps above a 10% margin for District 6. I understand in the technical report, it mentions, I believe, 38% black representation for District 6. However, in the DRA map, when we did it, it was still above a 10% margin. It was about 42.5% for District 6. So that is most likely just a difference between the DRA and just the technical report. But overall, the shapes for District 5 have not necessarily changed much. The main difference is District 2, 7, and 6. So that is the main change we did overall. So.
Thank you. Mr. Affont, do you have any additional comments you would like to make?
I think we're going to have to decide if we want one or two of the same amendments, and I am probably inclined to go with one of the two instead of having two amendments to the same map. I think we should pick one of the two.
Yeah. If is it possible? I know it's a bit later in the. I know it's a bit later in the presentation, but there is an alternative version of this map that doesn't include the Ocoee change, but it mainly provides the same change for District 6.
I think that's appropriate for you to discuss that at this time, too. So if you can show
yeah.
that.
Essentially, one is the more significant, and the other one's the in between.
Point of order. Correct me. We would prefer to go with the Second Amendment over the first one, correct?
Either works overall.
Point of order. It will work. I'm just trying to save time to everybody.
Hold on one
If it's
second.
okay with the committee, I will withdraw Alphonse 2 First Amendment and go with the second one, if that's okay, just to save some time, since I have the right to withdraw.
We have a lot of talking going on, so what you're asking to do, Member Affont and Member Callen, I heard your request for a point of order, just so I can,
I'm
Okay.
asking that I'm going to withdraw Alphonse 1 and go forward with Amendment 2, instead of having two amendments.
So there's two Affont. there's an Alphont 1, and then are you talking about the amendment 1 to Alphont 2?
I'm talking about right now, Alphont 2 has 2 amendments.
Correct.
It has 1 and 2. So what I'm asking is that we adopt 6B. That's the one I'm going to go forward with, which is Alphont 2, Amendment 2, and I'm withdrawing at this point.
Amendment 1.
Amendment 1,
To
6A.
Alphont 2, okay. So, yes, that's fine. Before we get to that, I just want to make sure that other members have an opportunity to chime in.
I need some housekeeping rules.
I have a question.
Because I'm confused. Right?
I am too.
So, wait, let me.
Well, I asked first.
You did? Okay.
Okay. I'm
Actually,
serious
I thought I
about
get
this.
to decide
I'm
who
serious.
goes
We're getting to the
first.
point where these maps are getting different names all of a sudden and different titles. Online, Alphont 2A, and tonight we call it map 6A. So for purposes of the record, this map we have says mark 6A is Alphont 2A on the website. I want to make sure everyone has that understanding, it seems to me. And I don't know where that new name numbering system came from. It's the first I've seen that, right? Is that your concern?
No, I've got
That's my concern.
bigger words.
On the website, map 2A is noted as map 6A. I don't disagree with you that it's difficult, but we just got to read through.
And I think it's important for us, the record, and also for the board later on, and for the members of the public, which everyone has their smartphone doing this stuff. So I think we should, 6A tonight withdrawn was map 2A on the website.
All right. Here's
Before we get there, Member De La Portilla.
Thank you. My question is, Member Alphont or Mr. Rodriguez, which of your maps is this map amending? Your original map?
It's amending Alphont 2.
Which is map 6?
6,
Okay.
correct. That's why it says 6A and 6B in the beginning of it. At least that's the way I got it off.
So now you're withdrawing
A.
Amendment 2 to map 2, to Alphont 2.
that one. Wait. The one that he presented now?
I'm
The one that
sorry.
he presented is the one we're withdrawing.
You're withdrawing that
Amendment
one?
1 to Alphont 2
Okay.
is the one he wants to withdraw.
Okay.
I definitely should have had that coffee earlier. Member Callan, you have one
And
more
in
question?
fairness, so I can explain this to you.
No.
Alphont 1, 2A was done before we extended the deadline for Mr. Callahan.
Callan,
And
Callan,
after-
everybody-
No, fair. I'm trying to be fair. Okay,
For the record, it's Callan.
Callan, I'm sorry.
Okay, can we still got a lot of work to do. And-
Okay,
and I think we're almost through one. I have one more question from Mr. Callan. Mr. Callan, you had a question?
So I guess the remaining map would be map 2B, which is the Alphont map in our packet here.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Attorney White would like to get us some order.
Yes, so at this point, the map should follow the numbering system in which they were accepted. So Mr. Alphont has withdrawn map 6A from consideration. Map 6B remains within consideration. So to minimize the confusion, we should not be referring to the maps as the member's last name versus the number. It should be map 1, map 2, so on and so forth. And then also for everyone's benefit, the heading of the map also lists the number as well as the original name and number of the map as well.
So at this time, we have a request by Member Alphont to withdraw map 6A. Do we need a vote on that? Or it's just withdrawal?
Is there a unanimous consensus or?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Then
no, okay,
that's
so.
sufficient.
All right. Now we're going to go ahead and skip to go to 6B. Because Mr. Pedro is here, we're going to move to 6B. Map
Understood.
6B.
So, yeah. So with 6B, this was more to round out District 6. As you can see in the original map, the District 6 had a lot more jagged edges. It took Metro West. It was much less rounded as it was in the current map. So we wanted to round it out a bit more, but we also took the time to keep Pine Hills non-split in this version. So in the end, District 6 has, in accordance to the DRA map, it is 10% margin for African American in District 6, and it's about 42.5% margin, 42.5% African American in District 6. It's also with District 7, the Pine Hills District, having entirely of Pine Hills, not split whatsoever, and it still has above a, I believe, 5 to 10% margin between the largest demographic and the Pine Hills community itself. So this is more to rectify some of the smaller errors with the original map overall.
Thank you. Mr. Afant, did you have anything you want to say on this one? No. Okay, so we can transition to our discussion time on this. Before we go to that, Attorney White.
Yes, this will be very brief because not much change with this amendment. Orlando is still the only municipality that is split. There are no census designated places split under this plan. The numbering is essentially the same. I believe the maximum population deviation changed slightly. It actually lowered from 8.32% to 7.29%, so still under the 10% threshold. I don't see any glaring issues of contiguity or compactness either. So essentially, this map proposal, in my opinion, would pass constitutional muster.
Thank you, Attorney Wright. At this time, we'll turn to the dais. I still have members Callan, Arias, and De La Portilla lit. Is that because you all want to speak on this matter? Okay, I have Mr. Callan first.
Looking at page 4 of the technical report, looking at the majority plurality map that looks at voting age population. I'm focusing more on voting age population from here on out versus general population. And it's important because District 7 is not the new minority district. That's a district that's out west. So the districts are labeled here are 6 and 8.
Sorry.
And those would be, excuse me, sir?
Can I clarify? Are you saying District 7 is the orange district down south of Lake Nona?
No, it's the one that's north of Lake Nona towards.
Oh, yeah, my mistake.
I'm looking at page 4.
Sorry, yeah, my mistake. I was referring to District 8 for the Pine Hills District.
Well, the current map has 6 and 8 as the two purported minority districts. Both would be a mid-year election. Both would be an election where voter turnout generally is at 30% versus 52% for minorities, historically in District 7 in Orange County. That's a concern. The voting age population percentage for District 6 is 39.17%, and the voting age population for that's for black voting age population, according to page 4 for District 6, according to District 8 on the same column for black population would be 38.96% in an off-year election. So you take that, eligible voters, times it by 30%, 40%, that's your actual voters. So I don't think this map, I'll not support this map because I think it could unwittingly lead to not having a black elected commissioner on the district, on the board. And so I think this is, needs a lot of work, and I would vote to oppose it.
Next, I have Member Arias.
Honestly, my question wasn't really directed towards 2A. It's when I was looking at his Alphont 2A and Alphont 1A, I was confused as to which one they were drawing because they looked almost identical to me. But if I were to come back to Alphont 2B, in contrast to my colleague, I actually kind of like this map. I think this map is a workable map, and it includes certain like districts with like districts. I like the fact that the community of interest are not split. I like the fact that the only city that's split is Orlando, and unfortunately there is quite a few precincts split, but nevertheless I think overall, I think maybe this map be worthwhile to keep so we can tweak it a little bit and maybe satisfy some of the issues Mr. Callen has brought up. That's all I have.
Thank you, Member Arias. Member De La Portilla.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Pedro, you mentioned, where's Pedro? DRA, what is DRA? Can you go back up to the podium here?
It is Dave's redistricting software. It's the software to make the map.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
I call it Dave's redistricting.
Sorry.
We all have our names.
I do want to just echo something that Member Callen said, and I want to make sure that this is very clear. And I've said this before, it's nothing new. In trying to create a second African-American district, you're diluting. This map is diluting District 6. When you take District 6 from a voting age population of 48, which is today, and you bring it down below 40, in this case I think you're at 38, and then you have a Hispanic voting age population of 29. Mind you, this data is outdated. This data is from 2020. The new data may show that gap is even smaller. The community is at risk of not having an African-American elected in August of 2026. That's just the reality. I've been around politics for 41 years, and I've been around campaigns that are very tight, and it makes it a lot more challenging for Commissioner Scott, who's a great commissioner. And I volunteered in his campaign last time around, and he won by 700 votes. It's not an easy district. You're making it even more difficult. So because of that, I cannot support the amendment. I think you did a great job on your other maps. You're a young man, and you have a great future in this, but I'm really concerned about what happens in District 6. Thank you, Pedro.
I next have Member Afont.
I agree with Commissioner Arias. Look, could it be better? Yes. One of the problems that we had is that the voters decided that they wanted 8 districts. And I'm sorry. They wanted 8 districts, and now all of a sudden, District 6 needs to lose 70,000 people. And we're trying to say, well, but you used to have 48, Commissioner De La Portilla, and I agree. There's no bigger defender here of District 6 than probably the 3 people sitting here. But we have to realize, how are we going to deal with the fact that we need to lease 70,000 people in a district like this? This map is not perfect, and I will be the first one to say it. I've supported Pedro because Pedro really is trying to do his best, and I see him as the future. Most of us are going to be gone in a couple of years, and he's going to be sitting up here. So I want to help him as much as I can. I think it's a map that could be worked. I agree with you, Mark, entirely. His heart is in the right place. Maybe we can find a way to tweak it. But the other problem that I'm going to say here tonight, now that we're going through the maps, a lot of people want 2 African-American districts and need to realize that to do that, you're going to be sacrificing District 6 significantly, okay? There's no, second thing, I've made no bones about this, and I'll repeat myself. I will not vote for a map that splits up communities, and particularly Pine Hills. I made a commitment to them. And this is one of the few maps that keeps Pine Hills together. There's a lot of maps here that we are talking about that split up Pine Hills and go down in numbers. So I will be supporting this, but I do understand, Pedro, that this map needs improvement. I'll accept that. Thank you.
I next have Member Spears, followed by Member Kilsheimer.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to point out, I believe it was last week, and I don't forget who came up here and showed us the series of maps that showed the history of the redistricting in Orange County. And that, to me, was very enlightening, because it was clear that District 5 really started out as the downtown district. And over many iterations of redistricting, it got stretched from downtown all the way to the St. Johns River in the east. But it has retained the core, the historic core, which is downtown Orlando. That's the historic core of downtown, of District 5, not the rural east. as I learned last week because of a presentation that somebody gave us, and I can't remember who. So, and I've heard you talking about District 8 as the Pine Hills District. It includes Pine Hills. It also includes the most dense part of downtown Orlando that dwarfs Pine Hills in population. And I share the concerns of many people up here on the dais that in an attempt to get two black plurality districts, we may be leaving open the possibility of zero, because we'll be weakening the concentration within the District 6, which has been traditionally the black majority district. So the countywide numbers really indicate that there should be 1.5 black districts, not 2. More than 1, less than 2. So 1.5. But if voter turnout becomes an issue, then we may end up with 0. So those are my concerns. I don't think that it serves either Pine Hills nor downtown Orlando well. So thank you.
Real quick, Attorney White, is voter turnout something that we should be considering?
No, that's not a traditional redistricting principle.
Thank you.
However, voter turnout is relevant to a racially polarized voter analysis, but that is not something that is performed on this level here.
Okay, thank you. Next, I had Member Kilsheimer.
Yes, I'm going to speak on behalf of District 2. This map puts Lockhart in District 2. That's important to my commissioner, and I can support this map. That's my comment.
Member Bago?
Just wanted to give a quick counterpoint as we discuss the importance of having one black district versus 2. You know, I'm just thinking out loud here, but I'm a little concerned also if we think we want one majority black district that has a high majority. My fear is that you would have accusations of packing, and I want everyone to keep that in mind as well. So if you want to consider, instead of having 2 black districts or 2 black plurality districts, instead, if you want one high majority, you may have the opposite accusation as well. So something that I think members should consider.
Thank you, Member Baga. I have no additional comments to request to speak at this time. I will say I like the amendment and the effort that Pedro has continued to put into our process here, and I particularly like that you don't split you preserve your core of your district so you don't split communities of interest. I think that continues to be something of focus for me on maps. Is there a motion with respect, Member Afant?
That's a good, you want to make the motion? Okay, I move that we move this map forward.
So we have a motion by Member Afant, a second by Member Arias, and I just want to point out for everyone that with the approval of this amendment, this would become the new Afant 2. So 6B would be the new Afant 2.
Okay, but Afant map 1 is still alive, right?
Correct, this only applies to 2. Member Olszewski has a question.
Yeah, Madam Chair or Attorney White, I have a question. On everyone who submitted a map, their map 1, is that still in play right now?
If an amendment is adopted, then that, as amended, would become the official map, not the original map.
So the original map, we do not have to take any action on if an amendment now has been made on it, correct?
Correct.
Okay, that was my question.
Any further discussion? Mr. Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Member Orcheski?
Nay.
Member Jackson?
Yes.
Member Kilsheimer? Yes. Member De La Portilla? Member Arias? Aye. Member Callen?
Nay.
Member Washington?
No.
Member Baga?
Aye.
Member Jones?
Aye.
Co-Chair Perez?
Nay.
Co-Chair Evans?
Aye.
Member Spears? Aye. Member Affont?
Aye.
Member Pizzini? Nay. And Member Henry?
Nay.
8 to 7.
Motion passes. 8 to 7.
Thank you. So map 6B continues in the process. We are now looking at map 7A, which is Amendment 1 to Henry 2. It's amended by Member Baga. One thing, just real quick, if you have to take a break for a personal reason, please do, but we would ask that everybody be back before we vote on anything.
Thank you for calling me out, Madam Chair.
I just wanted to let everybody know. Member Bagger, you can get a full 5 minutes. We're not going to leave you at 3:24.
No problem. I hopefully do not need the 5 minutes, especially for this one. Great. Thank you so much, members of the committee and members of the public, for this opportunity. I have a proposed amendment to the Henry 2 map. I consider this a friendly amendment. There's not a whole lot of changes here. The goal here was just to sort of clean up a few of the edges that I think made sense in speaking to a few members of the community. So I just have a very quick presentation here to point out what these differences are. If we could go to the first. Oh, I have a clicker. Cool. All right. This is just a few changes that would be on the border between Ocoee and Pine Hills. As you can see, the edges are a little bit jagged there. This would kind of snap them to the existing line, which is based upon some major streets. So hopefully that would clean it up a little bit. The next one is around downtown and Edgewood. You may see that that line is typically Magnolia, but there's just a couple of blocks that are outside that. So this would move those few blocks into the purple district from the blue district. If you look right at downtown, same around Edgewood. There's a little block that juts down from Edgewood at the bottom, and this would snap that into the purple line. So it's, again, a very small, in my view, a correction that was pointed out to me in looking at this map. Same here. Right now, this is just a line that is somewhat arbitrary going through the southeastern part of the county. This would snap that line to the Econ River, which is the same in the district above it. And around the airport, same, it moves it to a major highway rather than where it is at the moment. And oh, I already did that one. So there you go. Very minor changes, the most consequential of which are these changes around the Ocoee Pine Hills area. And it's just pointed out to me that that line was jagged. And so as I looked at it with a few community members, I figured I would propose an amendment. That's it.
Thank you. Member Henry, did you want to?
Yeah, are those the major changes to the map? Like, does it do anything else that you can point out?
Not that I can point out, no.
Okay, that's it.
Thank you. Attorney White.
Thank you. This will also be very brief since the changes here are very slight. Orlando is the only municipality that is split. It remains that way. I believe the last plan or the original submission of map 7, also known as Henry 2, did not split any CDPs or census designated places. Under this plan, Holden Lakes is the only CDP that is split. With the changes that Member Baga has highlighted. I don't have any compactness concerns. The districts are contiguous. So in summary, this amendment would also pass constitutional muster, in my opinion.
Thank you. All right, we'll turn to the dais. I see Member Callen. On mine, he's listed first. Sorry.
No, I want to clarify something. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, Attorney White, you said that it only split Orlando?
Yes, according to the technical report.
If I'm looking at the correct technical report, it says it also splits Maitland.
The technical report that I'm looking at for map 7A only lists Orlando.
Maybe I have the wrong map then. This is Henry 2, Amendment 1.
No, this is map 7, 7A, Henry 2. It is Henry 2, Amendment 1.
Sorry, then maybe I'm looking at the wrong map.
Okay.
So this is not map 3A, Baga, 2,
No.
Amendment 1.
7A.
No, this is map 7A.
Sorry, my mistake.
And you got feisty to get your chance to say that, too. All right, Member Callen.
I didn't want to be wrong about splitting municipalities.
That's fair. You're fair. Member Callen.
Yeah, I have a concern about District 5 going from downtown Orlando out to the river. That was our concern last redistricting, and it's kind of gotten the same or worse. And having District 4 go from South Chase and Hunters Creek all the way out to the river too, I question that. But so, Madam Chairman, they talk about these things are relatively compact. I sometimes wonder, but so those are the concerns I have. Also have a concern about District 2, snaking around through Winter Park. Looks like Louisiana.
Are you looking at 7A?
No, I don't know. I'm looking at the wrong map.
See, I don't think you're looking at the right map either.
I apologize. I'll withdraw my comments till I find the correct map.
Does anyone who has the correct map want to say anything? Member Kilsheimer.
I'm looking at map 7A, Henry 2, Amendment 1.
Good job.
It has Lockhart in District 2.
Correct.
I will support this map.
Thank you, Member Kilsheimer. Member Olszewski.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is an outstanding map that the residents of Orange County would be proud, and I look forward to making a motion when the time comes.
All right. Attorney White?
Yes, Mr. Scraven would like to display something for the committee.
Okay.
Yes, Miles, if you could switch it over to the map, please. See, not there.
It seems like the map is, there you go.
Not great we get these at last minute with different names on them.
Oh, okay. We thought you wanted to say something about it. Okay, you just want to make sure we had it up on the wall. Oh, gotcha. Okay. He did earlier. Member Arias, got the right map?
Yeah, I do. I do have the right map, and I do think it's a good map. The only concern that I would see, if it is something that Maitland would be upset with, but I think traditionally Maitland and Winter Park and Eatonville are generally together. I don't see this being a problem. I just wanted to point that out, and actually I think the map is a pretty good map. So that's it.
All right. Member Callen.
The map splits Pine Hills and from Silver Star all the way down to Highway 50 and then beyond Highway 50 further south. I have the same concerns on this map as the other one for District 6, 38% black voting age population.
Would you like to? Go ahead.
Okay. This map, according to the information that I have from it, and I can stand corrected, does not split up Pine Hills at all. And the area splits up is Holden Lakes, and the way I look at it, it doesn't. So I just don't want people to think what you just said, Tom, that it splits up Pine Hills. The information I have says it doesn't, so I would ask legal if I'm wrong, or if that's wrong.
No, according to the technical report, Pine Hills is not split.
Okay, thank you.
So if you would like to hear more about that, I would have to turn it over to.
That's all right.
I'll
our
withdraw my
consultant.
comment. I stand corrected.
Thank you. Member De La Portilla.
Attorney White, at the outset of the meeting, there was mention that the city of Maitland had sent a letter. I haven't seen that letter. Can somebody, do they object to this specific map, or can somebody read that letter to us? Is that possible, Madam Chair?
It's definitely in your email inbox.
I
You
don't
didn't-
have
you
access
didn't.
to the, I forgot my password.
Dog ate your homework.
If I could just have one moment,
I'll
pulling it up.
Thank you. That would be most efficient. Look at you. Look at you. We're handing out gold stars tonight. Some people are definitely not eligible. Are there any other comments while Member De La Portilla is reading?
The letter just states that the city council took action on August 14th to unanimously endorse map 4, Callan 2.
Thank
That's
you.
the only map that they want. Thank you,
Yeah.
Madam Chair.
Member Henry, as the sponsor for this map, did you have anything you wanted to add about this?
No, would love to move to accept.
Okay, so are you making the motion?
Yes, I'll make the motion that we accept this map.
Okay, so we have a motion by Member Henry and a second by Member Jones to approve map 7A, which is Henry 2 Amendment 1. Any further discussion? Member Arias?
Yes, I also wanted to point something out on this map that I think I read earlier today, if I can find it. I think that's where I got the idea, and it was from this letter where the city of Maitland says that traditionally they've been together with Maitland Winter Park and Eatonville, and just so that we're aware, it looks like if I'm looking at the right map, maybe I'm not, but it looks like Eatonville is taken out of it. Or am I looking at the wrong map again?
Sounds like you're looking at the wrong map again.
Oh, then my mistake then. Just have
Sorry,
too many
your-
maps
your
in front
gold
of me.
star is
Yeah.
taken away.
So you took my gold star away.
Yeah. All
But
right.
nevertheless, my point was that Maitland wanted to see Eatonville, Maitland, and Winter Park together.
Thank you. Okie dokie.
Can I call the question?
I would love to.
I'll call the question.
Thank you, Member
On
Baga.
the amendment.
Mr. Clerk, will you take the roll call?
Member Olszewski,
Aye.
Member Jackson,
Aye.
Member Kilsheimer,
Aye.
Member De La Portilla,
Aye.
Member Arias, Member Callan, Member Washington, Member Baga,
Aye.
Member Jones,
Aye.
Co-Chair Perez,
Aye.
Co-Chair Evans,
Aye.
Member Spears, Member Affont, and Member Pizzini, and Member Henry.
Aye.
Motion passes, and it's unanimous.
All right, moving right along. Map 3A, Baga 2, Amendment 1. Again, this is your chance to look in your stack and see if it says map 3A. That's the one you should be looking
Right
at.
on the top.
Member Baga, you have our attention.
Thank you so much, Co-Chair, and again, members of the committee as well as the public. Look, folks, this was an amendment that I basically tried to express. I guess I should make sure that the timing is correct because it's, again, I'll try not to hit that 5 minutes. I basically tried to listen to some concerns with the map as I had initially proposed it. And so this amendment hopefully reflects a few of those, the changes. Look, as I discussed last week, it's always been my goal to try to unify areas that belong together. I received a tremendous amount of feedback, and I apologize to the supervisor of elections on this, but that I was too focused on not splitting precincts. That by not splitting precincts, I in fact split a few communities, and that was certainly not my my goal to do that. So you'll see here, I have decided to split a few precincts in order to unify areas that probably belong together based upon some of the comments received. There is also one comment that I took very seriously, which was just District 5, and that is because, again, I live out east. There was commentary from both the Commissioner, Samarat, who's been out there, as well as other folks, that there's too much land in that area, and so it probably did make sense to get some of that east side and put it in some other areas as well, so that there are multiple commissioners working on it. So this is, I just wanted to clear up a few things that I think were brought up. The proposed District 8 does not divide Edgewater, Belle Isle, and Pine Castle. I know that had come up in a few of the comments, but certainly the entire Lake Conway chain of lakes area is unified in the same district. And also Taft is not in the same district as Winter Park. I do keep an eye out for Taft. I went to elementary school there, and so I certainly want to make sure that it's in the right area. But the proposed District 8 runs from just down through Taft Airport all the way up to Baldwin Park and the Florida Hospital area north of downtown. So here are the changes that are proposed here. Certainly wanted to give some voice to the folks in Claricona. And so what this proposed change would do is would unify Claricona and Pine Hills into the same district. And hopefully by incorporating that Claricona, we can do that here. So that's one proposition. Another proposition here is that my map, again, to try to get no split precincts, got Azalea Park and got split basically a district based on one side of Cimarron Boulevard and the other. So what this does is get all of Azalea Park and puts it into the same district. Another thing here was unifying Lake Nona. I had Lake Nona that was being split from the part north of 417 and the part south of 417. That's really not a difference that makes much sense. And so what this would do is unify all of Lake Nona into the same district. This moves the area right now that is just south of the common where 441, the Turnpike, and 528 come together. There's that triangle area. This sort of split this up into 3 different districts. It didn't make a whole lot of sense, so I snapped it back to its original line based on the current maps. This takes, and then as far as splitting up the large district to the east, this takes some of the areas close to the landfill area and moves those out of that district and moves it into the same district as Rio Pinar. So that way there's some of that area going in. And then it also carries the line, as several other maps have proposed doing, basically moving that southern district, the South Orange district, over to the county line. That way you have basically 2 commissioners who look after that eastern boundary and not just one. So again, my goal here was to try to listen to some of the concerns of the community and to try to unify some of those areas. But fundamentally, it's still the same map. It just has those changes made to it. So, for your consideration. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Member Baga. With 40 seconds to spare, Attorney White.
Thank you. This plan is actually very similar to the original, as Mr. Baga has stated. The maximum population deviation is 7.84%. That's a slight increase from the original map, but still under the 10% threshold that we're aiming for. There are 2 municipalities split under this plan, Maitland and Orlando. There are 2 census-designated places split. That's a reduction from 6 from the original plan. Those particular CDPs are Fairview Shores and Paradise Heights. I don't have any glaring concerns about compactness. It sounds like a lot of the justification for the changes were to keep certain communities together, to clean up the borders as well of the proposed districts. So in summary, I believe this map would pass constitutional muster. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney White. At this time, we will turn to our dais. Member Arias has map 3A in front of him and is ready to give comments.
Actually, I have a question for procedure. I'm looking at the website, and I have maps accepted under review, and it includes map 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we're also looking at these 7. I don't mean to take up the time, but I think we have 2 meetings left, right? So 1 meeting left, and we have 6 already approved, and 2 more puts us at 8.
So the ones that have been amended, they replaced the original map. So
Right.
we just approved, let me go back to my notes.
That's where I was going. How would you call his amendment to Henry's map? So it would become his map, or would become the new?
It's still Henry, so what was approved as map 7A,
Well, that's what I meant, yep.
map 7A is the new Henry 2. So the prior map 7 is now gone
Okay.
and replaced with map
I got it.
7A.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Remember, Attorney White?
Yes, just really quick. We have 2 more meetings left, August 28th and September 3rd.
Right, but the last one is when we turn them in.
Yeah, so tonight and next week are showtime.
Is that right? Right, that was my point.
Yeah. Okay. Did you have anything about this map?
I did notice on this map that, sorry. Map 3A, let me make sure I get it right. Is which one? Baga 2, Amendment 1, right? Baga 2, Amendment 1. Oh, this is what I was referring to earlier, where you took off Eatonville from Maitland and Winter Park. And I kind of think Azalea Park and Rio Pinar kind of go together. So there are some issues that I see with the map. I mean, again, I think it's a workable map. I think we could tighten it up. Other than that, no.
All right, thank you, Member Arias. Member Henry?
Hey, real quick question to piggyback off of yours. Will the maps, like 1 through 7, on that second tier, is that going to be removed from the website?
It's a lot of maps.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be replaced with the amended ones.
Got it. Okay.
So those will be the ones that they accepted.
Member De La Portilla?
Yes, few comments here. So you're taking out Commissioner Uribe out of District 3, and you're putting her in District 8, in a new District 8. That's one comment. So this map essentially takes, actually, you're taking 2 incumbents out of their district. That's one comment. I like what you did on the east side. You know the east side better than we do, at least on this side. I like what you did there. We heard from Mr. Knight from the city of Winter Park that this map essentially puts Winter Park out west to the Lake County line. Talk about something that I said before, compatibility. Winter Park and Maitland are unique. They're on the I-4 corridor. They're on their Sunrail corridor. Future transportation dollars, they need Sunrail relief. They're paying for the operation and maintenance of Sunrail. Apopka is on the other side. Apopka needs roads. So a future commissioner is going to decide, do I spend the money on roads or do I spend the money on rail for Maitland and Winter Park? It's not compatible. We heard from the residents of Claricona. You're splitting up, you're taking Ocoee, Claricona, Ocoee, and you're separating it from Lockhart. You're taking Ocoee, who's originally in District 1, then in District 1 and 2, then in District 2, you're taking Ocoee out of District 2. Again, it's the compatibility. Ocoee, Winter Garden, Apopka share certain things that are in common, but and also voting age population. You've got a District 6, you have a plus 9.5 between African Americans voting age population at 39%, and Hispanics at 29.5, whites at 19.6, and then the new District 7, you have African Americans at 42, whites at 31. Again, this is a map that you potentially could have with zero African American representation after the 2026 election. So it's got a lot of. If I'm looking at the right data, just want to say that for the record. So this map, potentially, you're jeopardizing African-American representation. In trying to get to a second district, you're chasing two squirrels, and they're both going to get away.
Attorney White.
Yes, so to address your previous comment, Mr. De La Portilla, with respect to shifting the incumbent, the District 3 incumbent into District 8, I felt like I was missing something, and that's what I was missing. To avoid that, avoid having two commissioners in the same district, I would suggest switching what is proposed District 3 under this plan with District 8. That way, there's no election trigger for the even-numbered district, because it would be changing an odd-numbered district to an even-numbered one. And then with respect to the District 4 incumbent, the District 4 incumbent's term expires in 2026 anyway, so therefore it's inconsequential if she shifted into another district or not.
Madam Chair, may I respond? So if you change the numbers of the district, right, you're changing the core of District 3.
Correct.
Correct? And so then the argument that you're making here that you're preserving the core of the district is not a valid argument, because you're changing, you know, District 3 has always had Belle Isle, Pine Castle, center of downtown Orlando, East Orange County, East Orlando. That's the core of the district. If you change the numbers, you're changing the core of the district.
Well,
Attorney White wasn't arguing with you about that. I just want to clarify. She's not advocating.
I just want to clarify for the record that the report then is incorrect, because it says that you're preserving the core of the district. If you're changing the numbers, you're losing that core.
Well, I disagree with that assertion, because currently, if we're looking at District 8, the incumbent is within the geographic boundaries of that district, which is what is presently District 3. So, I mean, we can have this discussion off record. I don't want to eat up into the debate time, but I would disagree with that assertion.
If you, as presented in the map, that pink is 8. She's saying if you switched it back to 3, you would essentially maintain 3 as 3. The core of 3, to the extent that it's there. Member Baga?
Yeah, if I can just address a couple of the points made. I mean, look, I understand all the points that you make, Member De La Portilla. I mean, I certainly think, look, we've got a tough decision ahead of us, and certainly a policy decision. A lot of the maps have drawn a large wing connecting the Econ River to downtown. And there's been, you know, the propriety of that, some folks agree with, some people don't, but somewhere along the way, that has to be drawn. I think you could also make the same argument with this one. Here, instead of doing that, I have decided to do Winter Park and Maitland and go the other direction. So certainly both of them are wings and you know, again, policy decisions and difficult decisions ahead of us on both of those things. But that's my goal here. I've spoken a little earlier, but I just wanted to reiterate that I certainly understand this map does create 2 plurality black districts rather than 1 majority. But I am also expressing that my concern with making 1 majority black district is that we will have to worry about concerns about packing, and I do not want to have, you know, 1 packed black district in Orange County. I just think that's the wrong policy direction, wrong on constitutional and grounds as well. And then, the final thing I'll say is this, as far as Attorney White, your discussion as far as the numbering scheme goes, look, many of you will disagree with me on this. I would be okay with such an amendment that would change the numbering. I understand this numbering matters a lot to a lot of you because of the historic need to keep the district numbering the way it is. I don't find that as convincing. I am okay with renumbering districts to, as long as the nature and character of the districts don't change. Fundamentally, going from 6 to 8 is renumbering, whether we like it or not, right? So, whether we now call District 6, 7, it really doesn't change as long as we still have that district together. That's my view. I have not proposed that change as part of this amendment because I felt like these amendments are separate and apart from that discussion. And if we decide to go forward with any of these maps, we can have that discussion later.
Thank you. Member Callan?
I have a question for Attorney White. If District 8 is approved like this, they would have to go on the election in 2 years, in 2026?
Correct.
Okay. So they just had an election last year.
Yes.
Correct.
So that's why I was saying, I understand that Commissioner Uribe has indicated that she will not be there. However, the effect of this would result in 2 commissioners essentially serving the same district.
So the effect would, she would have to run again next year for re-election.
No, so she's entitled to serve the remainder of her term, but she would be representing the same geographic boundary as another commissioner would, because.
So she'd be outside her district representing an area that's shown in blue, looks like an eye.
From what I'm looking at, her residence is within what is proposed as District 8. So District 8 is effective for the 2026 election cycle. So she is entitled to serve her term throughout 2028.
But she wouldn't be representing District 8. She'd be representing District 3?
What is presently District 3, but technically it would be District 8 because this plan would be effective.
But my understanding is, I'm not getting a direct answer here. Maybe because I'm not asking it right. But my understanding is that the new districts we have, 7 and 8, 7 is an odd number which goes on the presidential election, and 8 would go first next year, and that is the off-term election.
No, so actually both districts are effective for the 2026 election cycle. So that's why District 7 is abbreviated to align with the staggered election requirement. So District 7 would be effective in 2026. Whoever is elected would serve a 2-year term and then would be up for re-election in 2028.
So I still don't, I'm not getting my mind around this, is that the current commissioner of District 3 would have to run for District 8 next year.
No. So the charter amendment, as approved, keeps all incumbents until their term is naturally set to expire. So Commissioner Uribe was just elected again last year.
So there would be no election next year for District 8?
No, there would be an election for District 8 because District 7 and District 8 are the new districts that are effective for the 2026 election cycle. However, Commissioner Uribe, as an incumbent, is entitled to serve the remainder of her term, which expires in 2028. So she would be serving what would be District 8 under this plan, but there would also be another candidate to come from District 8. So we would end up with 2 commissioners serving the same boundary.
Oh, my God. Sounds like a lawsuit and sounds like nonsense. Sounds like nonsense. I think that you need to switch the 2 from 3 to 8 to solve this problem right now. That's number one. The other problem with this thing, too, is District 2, which is the yellow one, looks like Louisiana. I mean, come on. You have to take Winter Park. It's no longer part of Bithlo or the east part of the county. Now it's part of
Apopka. Lake
Dora and Apopka. So I have a problem with that. And going back to Angel's issue on District 6, the off-year election, having 38% African-American plurality, especially now with the redistricting we're going to have in 5 years and in 10 years, and the gentrification that's going on out there, I'm really concerned about the ability to maintain District 6 as its historic district that we have had in this county. So, but I just don't like it. I think this is the least likely of all maps I like. I like what you did, Rishi, on District 5. I like that. I like District 4, you know. I'm trying to be positive here. Okay. But
We
this
can
is my
keep
least
moving if
favorite
you-
map of all.
okay. Thank you.
Madam Chair, one more question, if I may, to Attorney White. Who's responsible for the numbering of these districts?
Ultimately, the Board of County Commissioners. So
Okay.
if they want to, they can change the numbering. I would advise against it for the reasons that I just stated, but ultimately it's their final say. They have the final say so.
Member Alfont, we've finished our 15 minutes, so let's keep going.
I'm going to make this real short and sweet. I cannot support this map. It splits up Maitland, it splits up Lockhart, it splits up Alafaya, it splits up Clarcoma and Union Park. And in order to save time, I'll make a motion that we deny this. I don't know if it's deny or remove, whichever you could tell me procedure.
You're rejecting the amendment.
To reject the amendment and the map, correct.
So you have a motion and a second by Member Alfont, a second by Member Spears to reject map 3A. All right, we have a question called, so. I'm sorry? So yes is to reject, as my co-chair would like me to remind you.
Eliminate?
To destroy, eliminate.
Member Ochesky?
Aye.
Member Jackson?
Aye.
Member Kilsharmer?
Aye.
Member De La Portilla?
Aye.
Member Arias?
Aye.
Member Callen? Member Washington?
Yes.
Member Baga? Member Jones?
Aye.
Co-Chair Perez?
Aye.
Co-Chair Evans?
Aye.
Member Spears?
Aye.
Member Alfont?
Aye.
Member Pizzini?
Aye.
And Member Henry?
Aye.
Motion passes to reject.
Thank you, Member Baga. We appreciate your efforts. Yes, but the original Baga 2 is still, map 3 is still alive. All right, map 1A.
Okay, I'm going to try to make this simple as I can. I touched very little of this map, okay? I did some changes, mostly into the deviation of the map. I'm looking at basically it went up in both districts 7 and 6, the representation, but basically the reason I'm debating right now, I'm going to be as honest as I can be with you. I'm not sure if I want to go through with my amendment. I like my original map, really, and I'm serious about this. And so at this point, to save time, I'm going to stick with my old map.
All right, so we've got map 1A has been withdrawn by Member Alfont. All right, look at us. Thank you, Member Alfont, for making a hard decision.
I'm trying to save us time, okay?
We appreciate it. Member Washington, map 2A, Amendment 1 to Washington 2 is next.
Is it okay if I speak from the?
Yeah, that's
dais here?
fine.
Great. I just want to, first of all, I'd like to thank the community again for your participation, your comments, and your willingness to be a part of this in person, or if you're watching, or if you're going to watch later. I do appreciate, the community appreciates it. I appreciate Commissioner Gomez-Cadero's appointment of me to represent District 4. Before I get started, in my haste, there were some things that I did not address when I submitted the amendments, and you can disregard that memo that's attached to that map. There's another memo, and I'll be requesting line moves, if possible, on the amended map. I understand I can do that. So, saying that, I'm trying to buy some time here to find my memo. I'm sorry. Here's a new memo. Let me find it. Okay.
Yeah, David, we want to look at 2A as presented.
Okay.
And let the committee take action on that.
All right. So in the process,
If you want to
look at 2A,
articulate that, fine.
and then, okay. All right. So let me find my memo. I'll be right there. Jimmy caught me off guard. I wasn't ready for him to withdraw his map. Okay, let me just read. Okay, so Washington 2 map was developed to preserve communities of interest, ensure legal and equitable representation, plan for reasonable growth, and reflect stakeholder voices from every part of the county. A logical and regional District 5, our first point, corrects the long criticized shape of District 5 by consolidating it into a focused eastern region rather than stretching from Christmas to West Maitland. This provides clear representation for rural and suburban East communities such as Christmas, Wedgeville, and Buffalo. Our second point in this map, Winter Park endorsement and placement. This maintains Winter Park as a whole, united municipality, distinct from eastern rural settlements. This map has been formally endorsed by Winter Park commissioners. Our next point, preserving municipality unity. This reunites historic municipalities of Winter Garden and Ocoee as formally requested by both mayors and includes Oakland as a natural partner. This is the only map that has met their requests in full. Our next point, respecting rural and historic communities. Protects rural settlements such as Avalon and Gotha, honors the needs of historic areas like Tildenville and East Winter Garden. Logical and serviceable districts, drawn with transportation corridors in mind, ensuring compact, navigable districts that commissioners can realistically serve. Minority representation maintains two strong Hispanic majority districts and strengthens District 6 as a Black majority district with one of the highest margins proposed. Growth management keeps Horizon West whole with majority stake in its district for the first time, allowing infrastructure and growth to be prioritized. I believe that Washington 2 has the broadest and most consistent public support of any map, with dozens of residents from across the county speaking in its favor. So, in regards to the amendment reunites all census-designated places except Alafaya and Claricona, where division is broadly understood to be acceptable, and Alafaya. Responding to key feedback, Pine Hills is unified. Reflecting the overwhelming requests from Pine Hills residents, the amendment now places Pine Hills entirely within a single district. Winter Park placement keeps Winter Park separate from eastern rural settlements, ensuring each area receives focused representation. Claricona and Lockhart are not together in this particular map. Lockhart and Claricona are separate. It responds to residents calling for communities. This is not the case in our amendment. Belle Isle, Pine Castle, and Edgewood are together, responding to the commissioners calling for these to be united and CDPs remaining whole. Minority representation strengthened as a second majority black district while retaining 2 Hispanic districts. In conclusion, the Washington 2 Amendment is a direct response to countywide community input. It addresses concerns by consolidating District 5, honors Winter Park's municipality integrity, unites key communities such as Pine Hills, retains CDPs together in District 3, and preserves historic and rural areas in the West. We respectfully urge the committee to adopt Washington 2A and forward it to the Board of County Commissioners as the most community-driven, balanced, and representative option available. And again, we'll be asking for some line moves.
Do you want to tell us, Co-Chair Perez wants to know if you want to use your last minute to talk about the line moves you have in mind?
Sure. Okay. So the line moves. One of the things that I want to make clear, and to my friends from Claricona, we were not able to keep Claricona together. However, in one of the line moves, we accidentally left out a part of District 3. And pardon me, I'm sorry, I had this up on my computer and I lost it. The memo that does address the, let me find it here. Okay. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. So in regards to the line moves, we will like a corrected version. We would like a corrected version of the previously filed amendment as has been submitted to address the boundary errors identified during the technical review. So in the technical review, when we received the information back, we understood that revision had to occur in the city of Edgewood, remains whole, removing 2 minor bump outs, returns the incumbent District 2 commissioner back into District 2, and per original intent, it restores, also we want to restore the historic downtown Apopka CRA fully into District 2. Those are our 3 major line draws.
Thank you.
Line moves, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Attorney White.
Thank you. The maximum population deviation for this plan is 9.20%. That is slightly, a slight decrease from the original map submission. As Member Washington has already elegantly stated, Apopka and Orlando are the only municipalities that are split under this plan. I'm sorry, and Edgewood are the 3 municipalities that are split under this plan. There are 2 census designated places split. They are Alafaya and Claricona, as Member Washington has already stated. The proposed numbering is compliant with the statute and the charter. I do have a slight concern of the compactness of District 6 under this amendment, particularly the elongated portion of it that extends to the west against District 1 and District 2. So I would like to know more about that and what the justification is for that. But other than that, this plan, I believe, would pass constitutional muster.
Thank you, Attorney White. We'll bring it back to the dais. Are there any questions or comments of Member Washington?
So I just wanted to address that one piece about District 6 and trying to keep things balanced. We kind of did a little nip and tuck to make sure that we were addressing as many of the issues that came up during public comment and also from the dais. So some movement there, but that's what we were trying to do.
Okay, I'm sorry, just specifically, were you referring to like a certain community or neighborhood perhaps?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay.
Not necessarily.
Was it more so just to keep the population
Correct.
Balanced
Correct.
amongst
Keep
the
some
districts?
balance, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else want to have any comments or questions on Member De La Portilla?
Member
Followed by
Washington.
Member Kilsheimer, followed by Member Baga.
Member Washington, when Commissioner Uribe spoke, I asked her specific questions because she mentioned that it splits up District 3 into 3 districts, and she was talking about the amendment, not the original map. Because I asked her, could you address that?
I understand the commissioner's concerns. However, seeing that we're trying to create a map that is balanced and a map that tries to address as many of the needs of the community versus the needs of the commission, we decided that this is the best representation of the community, and it's the map that we move forward.
Member Kilsheimer.
So I, again, on behalf of District 2 and on behalf of my commissioner and her stated wish that Lockhart be in District 2, I cannot support this map. And the other thing that I would note is this map combines, Winter Garden, the cities of Winter Garden and Apopka in a district. And, despite the fact that both Apopka and Winter Garden are on the west side of Orange County, there's almost zero compatibility between Apopka and Winter Garden. And so I don't think this district, the way that it's drawn, is compatible for the people that I represent.
Member Baga.
Thank you so much. I guess this concern reflects, the amendment, because the amendment doesn't fix this. This is part of the original map. Unfortunately, I will not be here next week as well, so I guess to the extent that this map moves on, I did want to express a little bit of my concerns there too. Again, I live in the Alafaya area. I cannot support this map, and I think the biggest concern I have is just the way that districts 4 and 5 and that boundary is drawn. Simply put, this divides Waterford Lakes, which is one community. It divides it pretty substantially. It divides Eastwood. One side of Eastwood would be in one district, one side of Eastwood would be the other district. Where I live in Stony Brook East, that is all in one district. Avalon Park is in one district as well. But again, I think the folks who are in Cypress Springs would be in a different district, as well as the folks who are on Lake Underhill. So these areas really are a single community in my view, and I know I've made that quite clear in most of my discussions of all the maps and all the amendments, so I would object to that.
Member Arias.
Based on the comments made by Commissioner Uribe, and it seems like you took a bullseye right at District 3, I cannot support the map. You separated Conway from Belle Isle, and I also don't see what Maitland has anything to do with Pine Hills or La Vista. So I do have some issues about this particular map, and I would be unable to support it, although I think it's a very valiant effort to try to do what we can with the interior of the county.
Member Olszewski.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to echo my comments, and I greatly appreciate Commissioner Semrod's comments before this meeting. Like I said, this is a political process discussion, and I look at this as 3 of us were appointed by Mayor Demings. The 80% of us were appointed by the County Commission. We don't have any power. We don't have any final say in what these maps look like. And we had heard it clear now. I mean, I shared 3 commissioners that said it publicly. They didn't support it. I talked to almost all the commissioners privately because I wanted to get their feedback, what's best for their districts. There were 4. Commissioner Semrod says there's at least 4. She said that publicly. We would be derelict in our duties to put forward a map that we know that the county commission is going to vote down. We've already said we're going to submit 2 maps to them, and submitting one that we know that they have stated publicly and the people that we are appointed. And again, it's not that we haven't heard the constituents. And, and I know I've always been, my comments last week, I questioned why this map has behaved differently than all the others, why there's different levels of, support or not support for this map. This map has received a lot of attention, and my personal comments are that I question that. I'd like to understand more, but to me, the line in the sand is we have now 4 county commissioners out of 7 that have already said they're not going to support this map. But I do feel like I do have to explain myself and offer my first, personal opinion on this. And when I look at districts 1, 2, 7, and 6, I mean, we might as well put the city of Jacksonville in this map, because those gerrymandered lines look like Corinne Brown drew this map to me. I mean, so that's, you're trying to do what's justified for, communities of interest, keeping communities together and in continuity, and drawing, lines that look compact. Again, this map is behaving differently than all the other maps that we've seen. And so I just feel like I owed it to all the people who, a majority of them were my constituents speaking out in District 1. I think that, it's clear. We just have to do, the right thing on, what's before us, to get 2 maps to the county commission, to let them make the decision. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. I have Member Washington and then Member Callen.
Just want to make sure I got this clear. You said Corinne Brown?
I was just trying to make a political joke to say it was a gerrymandered district, like her district was. It stretched from Orlando all the way to Jacksonville. So is my poor attempt at humor with the respect to our good Congresswoman.
Member Callen.
Well, there's some things about this amendment that look good. Okay, I like parts of it. Uribe made a comment about dividing the district into 3. The redraw that I did maintained District 4 in Meadowwoods, and then basically had to give up parts of her district to the east as well as to elsewhere. So there was, dividing 2 as well. There's some good parts to it. I think one of the issues that seems to be a non-starter seems to be this Winter Garden, Oakland, putting into District 2, so that's kind of what I'm seeing here. But there's a lot to like about this. Thank you.
I have no further requests to speak. Is there a motion regarding map 2A? Sorry, Member Pizzini.
I'll make the motion to reject.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Motion by Member Pizzini, second by Member Kilsheimer.
Yes.
And that is to reject the amendment. So that would be to reject map 2A. And a vote in favor would reject. Mr. Clerk, will you call the roll?
Member Trisky.
Aye.
Member Jackson.
Aye.
Member Kirsheimer.
Aye.
Member De La Portilla.
Aye.
Member Arias. Aye. Member Callen. Aye. Member Washington.
No.
Member Baga. Member Jones.
Aye.
Co-Chair Perez. Is that aye?
Yes.
Okay. Member Evans.
Aye.
Member Spears. Aye. Member Affont.
Aye.
Member Pizzini.
Aye.
And Member Henry.
Aye.
Motion to reject passes.
Thank you. All right, moving on to map 5A, Henry 1, Amendment 1.
Madam Chair, could I ask a point of procedure?
Your mic's not on, but yes, you can ask a question. Go ahead.
Okay. I understand that if we had approved the Washington, the map 2A revision, Washington 2 would have gone away.
Correct.
But since we rejected map 2A, what happens to Washington 2? It's still alive.
Exists.
Okay.
It's still alive, yes.
That was my question.
Good question. All right, we are prepared to move forward with map 5A. Member Henry?
We're going to be real quick, too. Mrs. Johnson submitted the amendment, but unfortunately she had to step out, so Mr. Ayers is going to provide comments, and I'll yield my time over to him.
Thank you.
Thank you, Member Henry. Madam Chair, I'll be real quick. I've learned in my 60-some years of life that if you're the last thing on the agenda, move quickly. Let me first of all say every change, the amendment before you, and that's what I'm advocating on behalf of, reflects every comment that was shared with Ms. Johnson when she presented the map. So, for example, in District 1, we returned a portion of Winter Garden that was not in District 1 when we first presented back into District 1. So Winter Garden is intact. In District 2, Lockhart was excluded. That has been returned in full to District 2. In District 3, those neighborhoods include Edgewood, Conway, and Belle Isle, which are have been historically a part of that district and meets the concerns that were expressed earlier. In terms of District 3, or I'm sorry, in terms of District 4, Azalea Park, Union Park, Rio Pinar, and a very dense portion of Alfayette Trail are in District 4. It maintains the rural element of District 5. And I should note, in the 12 years I've lived in Central Florida, I've lived in 4 of the 6 districts, so I'm familiar with at least 4 of them. In terms of District 7, it includes South Apopka, Gotha, Eatonville, and a majority of Pine Hills. Now, I'm always concerned when I hear we should not split up communities, but then you make the exception for one neighborhood. That neighborhood you're trying to make an exception for is 90% unincorporated. They have issues that I don't have in the city of Ocoee because I'm serviced both by the county and my city government. And I think you got to keep that in mind. All of us want to preserve our neighborhood, but you're subtracting from each district 70,000 people. Hard decisions have to be made. And so I would just argue that you accept the amendment and move this map forward. I'll answer any questions that may come from the panel.
Thank you. Mr. Henry, did you have anything to add?
Yeah, sure. What I appreciate about this map, there was a switch. South Apopka was brought into the district to match with Pine Hills. And I believe, Maitland was given to District 2. What I like about that is that it did increase the numbers for the 2 respective black districts.
Thank you. Attorney White.
Thank you. I will also be brief.
I started a trend.
The maximum population deviation slightly increased with this amendment, but still well under the 10% threshold at 4.92%. The districts are fairly contiguous. However, I would note in the upper, I believe that's northeastern corner of what is proposed District 1, there's a slight enclave there, at least that's how it appears to me. So should this amendment be advanced, that may need to be tweaked a bit. The districts are fairly compact. However, I do have some concerns about proposed District 7 under this plan because it does not closely resemble a geometric shape. And it's also multi-directional with several extensions that go in opposite directions. So that's something that we would probably need to tweak as well, slightly. Under this plan, the incumbents remain in their districts. And as I stated, the other districts appear to be fairly compact with the exception of proposed District 7. Under this plan, Apopka, Edgewood, Orlando, and Winter Park are split. Alafaya, Claricona, Fairview Shores, Holden Lakes, Lockhart, Meadowwoods, Pine Hills, South Apopka, South Chase, and University are also split under this plan as well. But overall, with those few caveats that I mentioned, if we tweak those, I think this plan could pass constitutional muster.
Thank you, Attorney White. At this time, we'll turn to the dais. I have Member Affont first.
Okay. I'll be honest with you. These changes, I have problems with splitting up Apopka, Edgewater, and I represent Winter Park on this board, and I would have to vote against any map that splits up the city of Winter Park. But you took me out of my district, okay? Just for the record, so there's full transparency. I live in University, so, yeah. Oh, no. But I like my commissioner. I would like to stay in 5 is what I'm trying to say. Okay. You took me out of my district. And to be quite honest, Union Park is such a small tweak. What I had to do is take the top of it. Everybody takes that top off. Williamsburg, are split. There's too many communities here that are now split that were not split before, and I would have to say that the new changes I don't like, and that's going to be the reason I'm going to be voting against.
I appreciate your comments, Member Affont. What I will say to you is every change we made in terms of the amendments that are pending before you came from this panel. Every change we made came from this panel. In terms of the changes we are bringing before you tonight, came from the panel, and we tried to incorporate as many as we could.
Are you telling me, with all due respect, I've known you for years, that this panel said we should split up Winter Park, that we should split up Apopka? Because I don't recall any of us saying that.
No, individual members made suggestions. Now, obviously,
okay.
if you change one part of a district, it's going to affect other parts.
I understand that.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Member Kilsheimer.
As I look at this map, did you mean to include Oakland in District 2?
We drew the city of Ocoee, the town of Oakland, and the city of Maitland in District 2, as well as the community of Lockhart.
So my question is about contiguity. If Oakland, so the only way to get to District 2 from Oakland here is across Lake Apopka. You have to get in a boat to go to the rest of District 2. It's not contiguous to, in a land area kind of way, it's not contiguous to the rest of District 2. Is that a concern?
I've not had to take a boat to get to any 4 of those areas, and I live in District 2.
I want to know from the attorney, is that a contiguity question?
No, because it borders a natural boundary, which is Lake Apopka.
Okay, all right. I actually could support this map if you put Oakland back in District 1. That would be my only comment. With regards to splitting up Apopka, I will just say that in the history of racial disenfranchisement in Orange County, the people who live in South Apopka may be the most disenfranchised group of all. I would put South Apopka in that District 7 because they would feel for the first time like they have some type of representation.
Actually, that change came from a conversation that you and I held one evening, along with some conversations I've had with some of the commissioners.
My only proposed change would be to put Oakland back in District 1. That's my comment.
Thank you. I have Member Baga, followed by Member De La Portilla.
Thank you so much, and thanks so much, Tim, for being here. I'm so thankful also for Roberta, who's been part of this process all along, and I know a lot of folks in the community worked very hard on this. I did vote for the original map, and I would just, in all candor, would be more supportive of that than this iteration or this amendment. And that's just because I need to be consistent with my community. I've stated and talked and advocated for Alafaya quite a bit. This would divide Alafaya into 3 different areas, and I would just be concerned about that. I think, again, this would put parts of Stony Brook, Eastwood in one area, as well as Avalon Park. I believe it divides Avalon Park as well. as well as parts of Waterford Lakes. I just really think that these communities are really one community and should belong in the same area. So as just an advocate for the east side, that would be my concern here.
Thank you, Member Baga. I will just share, as a former resident of Avalon Park, I never thought we had much in common with at least one of those other two neighborhoods you mentioned, but I take your criticism.
Member De La Portilla.
Thank you, and thank you, Tim. He's a fellow Ocoee resident. A couple of comments.
Yes, sir.
I like what you did in South Apopka. I was trying to do that with my map. I was going north for that for District 7. I want to point out that District 7 also includes the rural settlement community of Gotha. That has traditionally been in District 1, and I know that Commissioner Wilson would be very adamant to keep Gotha in District 1. I think we can tweak that. And also, if you look at the east side of Ocoee, it encroaches into District 7, so Ocoee is partly split. I think we can fix that. I'd like to try to keep Claricona, if possible, in District 2. The residents have been at all our meetings. They've been vocal, and they would like to stay with Ocoee. Claricona, Ocoee would like to stay with Ocoee and with Lockhart. I think we can try to figure that out if possible. But I agree with Joe, with Member Kilsheimer. I think that this map is workable, and some of the issues that he raised, he was the mayor. He's seen it firsthand. So I certainly support the creation of a second African American district without jeopardizing the core of District 6. I think we can get there with this one.
Thank you, sir.
Member Olszewski.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Representing District 1, I mean, there is no way in good conscience that I could support a map that separates Oakland like this does, as well as the community of Gotha. Those are main staples. They have always been together of our District 1 community. And just on that alone, I am not able to support this map, but I do appreciate the efforts.
Thank you, sir.
I have no additional requests to speak at this time. Is there a motion with respect? Member Kilsheimer?
The only thing that I would say is I would vote to move this map forward, to keep it alive. So.
We already have map 5, just to be clear, it doesn't go away.
You're correct. I just like these amendments, so.
Oh, are you making a motion?
I am making a motion to accept this map.
We had a motion and a second by Member Henry.
I have a quick question.
We have further discussion from Member Arias.
So if we accept this particular map, if my understanding is correct, then that would become the new Roberta Johnson map.
Correct. It would
And the old
replace
one
map
will go away.
5.
Got it. That's all. Thank you.
So, hearing no further discussion. Oh, Member Callen.
I think it's a more interesting and provocative version of the earlier map, with it going up south of Popka. It suffers from some problems having District 7 kind of bend around District 6 that way. You got that little tight isthmus that connects part of District 2, east and west. But I think it's a pretty interesting map, so I'm going to vote to support this. I think there's some changes to it. I'd like to take a crack at this along with my map and come up with something that kind of has the best of both.
Member Olszewski.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I just want to point out, we just voted down a map because of the, the different tongues and spikes that the other map had, and this one has just as many, if not more, that look odd. And so if we're looking for a congruent map with solid lines, I think we would need to be consistent in having just voted down a map almost unanimously and having this one before us. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Member Oteski?
Nay.
Member Jackson?
No.
Member Kilsheimer?
Aye.
Member De La Portilla? Member Arias? Member Cowan? Member Washington? Member Baga? Member Jones?
Nay.
Co-Chair Perez,
No.
Co-Chair Evans,
Nay.
Member Spears, Member Afont, Member Pizzini,
Aye.
Member Henry,
Aye.
motion fails
Thank you.
to accept.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. So at this time, to kind of help everybody with just an understanding of the maps that are before the committee after the work of tonight, we have maps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6B, and 7A. So when we come to work next week, those are the maps in front of this committee. And we're trying to get to 2. Co-Chair Perez, you want to?
Yeah, so I just wanted to kind of walk through the process that we are expecting next week. Since we've all seen these maps, the plan is each person who is a sponsor of that map is going to have 5 minutes to talk about that map. And hopefully you'll take 3. But we will then go into discussion, but we're not allocating 15 minutes for that discussion. These are maps we've already talked about. And hopefully, and we're not going to be sticklers on 8 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, but we need to vote those maps up or down and hopefully get to 2 maps so that at our final meeting, we can complete our findings of fact and all of that sort of thing. So I'm just asking you, come next week with the same very positive attitude we've had the entire time, with an open mind, and understand that the goal is to advance 2 maps and to get there by the end of next week. So it's going to be, I suspect it may be a longer meeting than any. This is the first one that's run all the way to 9 o'clock if we finish in 3 minutes, which we will, says the chair. But the whole goal is everyone come. You'll have 5 minutes to present on your map to reintroduce us to all the component parts. We'll go into discussion and hopefully do it very quickly and not take a 15-minute per map hiatus so that we can then narrow it down to 2. Our consultants will be here next week. Thank you for being here this week. Prepared if we have little tweaks and jibs and jabs that we want to make, they can make them in real time, and we'll get that data. So some of the stuff we talked about, throw this in, move that out, cut that spear off, we'll be able to do that in real time as we think about proceeding forward to get down to 2 maps next week. So I just want to say it's going to be a long meeting, and just be prepared with what you've got. All of our maps are now on the website. We know what we're looking at now. We're down to the end. So let's just come, be decisive, and deliver 2 great maps to the County Commission.
Thank you. Member Olszewski?
I just have a question on a follow-up what I asked. I thought when all these amendments that are amending a map negated the first map, but that's not the case. So the original maps are still there and we're looking at them?
For those that were not amended.
That's not what you just said.
Oh, okay. Hold on a second. I think we just said something we don't all agree. So that would mean that there are 2 map 6s and 2 map 7s available?
No.
Correct.
No. So if the amendment passed, the first map is dead.
Correct.
If the amendment failed, the first map is still alive until we vote it down.
Because you have to remember, there's not an amendment for every map, so it wouldn't be able to kill a map if you don't have an amendment to consider. So it was for the amendments. We voted on amendments, and amendments replaced the original map.
Our next meeting, 28?
Yes.
Thursday. David?
I had an order a minute ago. I think Member Baga was was next.
Thank you so much, Chair. I just wanted to express that I am very unfortunately not going to be present at the next meeting. My there is a wedding in my wife's family. I cannot miss it. I would like to stay married, and so I apologize. No, but I'm sorry. I think I've made my some of my thoughts on these maps clear, and so hopefully that speaks to it. So thank you for the work that you all will do in my absence.
Thank you, Member Baga. Member Alfant.
Just procedurally, so I can understand this, we're going to go map by map, or we're going to start presenting motions to eliminate maps, or which is the correct procedure we're going to do, map by map, or?
Map by map. Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to know.
Thank you. Member Washington.
So I could get this right. How many maps in total are we looking at?
7 that are currently, so it's 1 through 5 as originally accepted, and then you have 6B and 7A. Member Henry.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Do we still have the ability to withdraw maps if, yes, okay.
Yes. Member Olszewski.
So again, if there was an original map that had an amendment, we only shot down the amendment. So their original map is still in play.
Correct.
See, that was my question, because I was going to make a motion to say if you were replacing your map, you're replacing your map. That should then carry it forward. That's when I asked the question earlier in the meeting, I said, I have a question, I may have an amendment to say, why would we listen to have everyone have 2 bites at the apple for the same map? I mean, if you made an amendment to your map, you should have kept your first map, not giving us a second map to look at. That's just confusing and is making this process very cumbersome when we have a limited time to get to 2 maps for the county commission.
Well, the good news is that we're through the meeting and we've considered all the amendments that were presented. I don't share your confusion with respect to the opportunity to present amendments that help maps get to whatever the presenter or sponsor thinks is the most ideal presentation.
That just seems confusing to me. I appreciate it, Madam Chair. Thank you.
You're okay. Co-Chair Perez.
Yeah, Bobby, just for clarity, some of these amendments came from other members. They weren't amended by our members. Other members took somebody else's map and amended it. We said that was a very doable thing. Every motion that we had tonight was on these amendments. We thought we'd start calling the other maps tonight because we didn't. As of Tuesday of last week, there were no amendments and 7 by Thursday. Thank you, Mr. Callen, for making that extension happen. Yes, I know, the dog ate your term paper. I know.
The dog ate.
But, so where we are now is we've got the unamended maps that were not amended, and then the 2 amendments that we passed, and those replaced the prior. So there are still 7 for next week, and we're going to have to not whittle, but cull some of these maps down next week. So just make sure we know what our goals are. And now that we know one of our members won't be here, there's going to be an even number of us on the panel. And Co-Chair Evans and Attorney White and I will figure out what happens if that happens.
Jeez. Member Alfant.
Just procedurally, you amended Henry 2. Does that become now Varga's map or Henry? I'm trusting. No, seriously.
It is map 7A.
It just
Map
takes the number, Jen.
7A.
Just the A, no number, no name. Okay.
Member De La Portilla.
Madam Chair, I just wanted to say to Attorney White that I apologize. I stand corrected. You were correct. I made an argument about the preservation of District 3 versus District 8. I confused myself, so I stand corrected.
Thank you, Member.
No worries.
Thank you for that. All right. I think we are finished for tonight. All right. We got a motion and a second. Thank you all for your participation tonight.